And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, all over social media. Your man Joe Biden said that he's going to forgive like $10,000 of student loan debt. People like AOC, Ilhan Omar were like, let's go for 45,000, 50,000. Well, how about zero? And if you were able to have a quick pause in your student loan repayment, that's over with. February 1st, 2022, you got to go right back to it. So if you were paying $1,000 a month in your student loan payments and you're working at the Pearson Pagoda in the middle of the mall, well, guess what? You got to start paying again. How you going to pay it? Who knows? Who cares? But you got to get right back to it. No more vacations. We'll get to that in a minute, though. I'm going to get ahead of myself. Also, shout out to the lone black juror in the Jussie Smollett case who said what was really going on. It's like, come on, y'all really believe that? Obviously, that whole thing was fake from the very beginning. Anybody could have seen it. But we'll talk about that, of course. Also, Sarah Silverman pretty much surrendered to the woke mob after being called out for yet another infraction. She's like, you know what? Y'all got it. I give up. And also, there's an elementary school in Denver, Colorado that is pretty much bringing back segregation. What's going on with that? We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank you all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Shout out to all the sponsors of the stream. You already know bhedesigns.com. They make these beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me. Every single day I get emails saying, hey, ABL, where do I get the flags? Love the flags. How do I get them? How do I get my hands on one? You can have one just like that behind me or one of your very own from small, medium, large, whatever you want through the link in the description box, bhedesigns.com. Tell them ABL sent you. Also, go to ablmerch.com. Over there, we got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more, all designed by yours truly. ablmerch.com. Check it out right now. Links in the box. Go to anthonyblogan.com for an article for each video that I produce. I produce the videos, I edit, record, all that good stuff. Then I write an article. Might be a short one, might be a long one. Regardless of what's going on, I'll always have sources for my content. So I don't just, give my opinion only. If I say something happened, I'm able to back it up with facts, with sources from a variety of places. My favorite source for news is local news because you're able to get the story there first, and oftentimes it's less manipulated. If you got a big station, like New York, Chicago, LA, they kind of get mainstream media-like. But if you got a small town station, low budget, it's typically not going to have so much spin on it. That's usually what I'm able to see, especially in more conservative areas. But anyway, anthonyblogan.com for all things ABL. And of course, go to the contact page. You got my email, my snail mail, all that good stuff. So you're able to contact me that way. Plus all the social media accounts, my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff is right there. So check it out, anthonyblogan.com, ablmerch.com. And also go to patriotpost.us. If you're looking for the source of news, information, cartoons, memes, whatever you want, and everything in between, go to patriotpost.us. They're based right here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Really good guys, been around for a long time. Really well-respected group of guys. Check them out, patriotpost.us. Now, let's get into the topics. We got quite a few things on deck, and thank you all again for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. Don't let anyone tell you anything else. And thank you, Laura Catherine. You got the ABL shirts, really comfy. Well, I'm glad you enjoy the shirts. Thank you for your support. Now, let's start with, I think I'm going to start with Sarah Silverman first. That's a good place to start because the left, when you do a thing that they don't like, they're easy to cancel you. They're easy to eat you. They eat their own. They don't really care too much. You must be rank and file with them all the time. no different opinions allowed, or you're going to be chastised. And it's weird for Sarah Silverman because she promotes everything that the left does. But at the same time, it's talking about, well, now they're attacking me and it's not right. What's going on? It's a really, really strange thing. But I'm going to find that clip right quick just to make sure that we're on the same page. If you've not seen the clip yet of Sarah Silverman talking about what's going on. But, you know, if it's an old saying, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If you keep putting out all this woke stuff, all this woke propaganda, and then you get attacked by the same propaganda, well, what was the desired outcome? What did you think was going to happen? Nothing else could have happened other than what did happen, right? But it's weird. So what happened was that Sarah Silverman criticized Joy Reid of MS-13 DNC, right? All that she really said as far as Joy Reid, well, matter of fact, hold on. Let's back up because I gotta give you the full thing. If you've not seen my video or if you don't know what I'm talking about, I gotta give you the full thing. I gotta back up. I gotta tell you what Sarah Silverman was responding to specifically. Now, let's go to the Twitters. Let's go to the Twitters right quick, of course, where everything always happens. And shout out to Jack for stepping down as CEO. I'm not really sure when he's going to step down. Like, what's it, like 5 months or something? But anyway, we'll see who the next guy's going to be. If he's going to be a speech Nazi. Before I get into Sarah Silverman, one thing about Twitter is that they actually allow quite a bit of stuff on their platform. Now, are they perfect? Of course not. They will still give you a suspension, maybe even ban you for certain things you say. But I'll tell you what, though, they're most certainly better than, let's say, a Facebook, who are the absolute worst. They're better than a lot of places. Twitter is still kind of okay, in my humble opinion. Not good, but I've seen worse. But anyway, so here is the tweet. Let's put it on the screen. Here's a tweet from Joyanne Reid of MS-13 DNC. And if you didn't know, she's a black woman. She's a black queen, right? Now, there's an article with the headline, DeSantis proposes a new civilian military force in Florida that he would control. Okay, this is a CNN.com article. And Joy Reid's caption on her retweet of the article, or the share of the article, says, so y'all know this is fascisty bananas, right? Whatever that means, that's what she said. Basically saying this is fascism. But here comes Sarah Silverman talking about, please read the article before you post this stuff. You're a news outlet. The truth has to matter. Now, that's pretty fair in my humble opinion. You know, you want to keep everybody in check. Make sure that you're posting the correct stuff. Don't post things out of context, all this and that. You know, it's cool, right? But if you're Sarah Silverman and you are on the left and you promote all the leftist ideals, you can't say something like that. How dare you? How dare you say something like that? You have to be on our side, regardless of what's going on. And if you don't want to be on our side, you're on their side. Basically, if you say anything against Joy Reid, a black woman, you're a sexist, you're a racist, and you're a traitor to this side. As I was saying in my video, if Sarah Silverman would have criticized, I don't know, Candace Owens or Winsome Sears or anyone like that, then it wouldn't have been a problem. Then it's all good because they don't really count as being black women. Or that's not really even a thing. Sarah Silverman could have called Candace Owens the N-word with the hard R on it, and it wouldn't have been a problem. She would have gotten away with it because they support that kind of stuff over there on the left. All right. So that tells you how much this race stuff really matters. It doesn't really matter that much, like the way they're saying. We'll talk more about the race stuff a little bit later, how it doesn't really matter to them. They want to champion race all the time, but it really and truly does not really matter. They only use it when it's advantageous to their end goal. If it's not advantageous, then they throw it away. If letting racist, quote unquote, racist things go is advantageous, meaning criticizing a guy like me or Candace on the basis of race, not just criticizing us, but saying a thing against us because of our race. or you hate yourself, you are Uncle Tom, you all this and that. They'll allow things like that when it benefits them. That's how they operate on that side. But anyway, so Sarah Silverman got attacked on the Twitters for that. And then that became a problem. And Sarah wanted to kind of vent over the whole situation. So here's the video from her podcast. And do I want to show this whole video? Not really. I want to show the shorter version. Let's do this. This is only like 44 seconds, so y'all don't got to cringe through a whole 2 minutes of video. All right. So here it is right here. And this person, I'm not sure what this is, Angelo Isadoru. That's a name right there. You got all kind of vowels and whatnot. But anyway, the caption says Sarah Silverman responds after getting attacked by the woke left for criticizing Juror's unethical journalism. Even progressives are now seemingly beginning to experience the mob mentality of ideologues. Let's get a little bit of volume here. Let's pump it on up.
Own side. We can't even critique anyone in your own party without punishment. One of the hosts of The View was like, what hubris for Sarah Silverman to accuse a black woman of not reading. Oi!
Hey man, that's your people. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oi! Nah, ain't no time for that. These are your people. That's your friends. That's who you hop now with in Hollywood. Okay, you got this whole podcast where it's really political. So if you out there, it's really political. You're on the left. You're talking about climate change and black women are great. Black queens are fantastic. All right, that's cool. Well, you have to abide by the core tenets of your religion, of your ideology. And when you don't, you're going to get attacked, period.
Jesus H, what the...
Sorry for the cussing. It's not my fault. Please blame the white lady right here. If you got little kids, cover their ears.
Surrender. Good grief. I don't want any trouble. I cannot believe I need to say this, but I did not criticize Joy Ann because she's black, but because she's a Harvard-educated journalist with the responsibility, ideally, of showing the whole picture and not just a piece of a picture. Own side. We can't even...
Well, you know what? That'd be nice to show the whole picture, and that to be, just kind of taking little snapshots and whatnot. That'd be great, right? But your side does not do that, and at a certain point, you got to understand that. You have to understand that. You got to know it. But do you really care is the question. Does that really matter to you? If it does, and I can't tell, I can not tell. All right. Hey, JP, come on. What you want me to do? Like, what am I going to do with that video? Like, am I going to be able to have these quick reflexes to censor it? Like, beep, right away? I mean, come on. Like, anyway, if you call me on the phone and you're talking, you have the ability to not cuss. But I can't necessarily just, censor a video that I'm playing live. But anyway, I digress. The point is that you're going to have that kind of experience, Miss Silverman, when you're over there on the left. Now, if you don't want to have that experience, how about not being political? You don't have to be political if you don't want to, okay? If that's your choice to be political, well, you got to take what comes with it. That's why a lot of these politicians or people that aspire to be politicians aren't really suitable to do so. Just like my man last time. Remember the guy, Alex Stovall, the guy that got, he got exposed by Project Veritas for saying one thing privately and something else publicly. Guys like this are not really ready for politics because they don't really want to be who they say they are. They don't really want to adhere to some core tenets of being conservative. Because if you are a conservative running for office, talk about Alex Stovall or anyone else right quick, if you're a conservative running for office, there are certain things that your constituents want from you as a conservative. And if you don't do those things, people are like, well, wait a minute. I did not vote for you to be kind of on the fence and be wishy-washy and kind of just do whatever, just random stuff. All right. If I voted for a conservative, I don't want you talking about climate change and January 6th and a bunch of weird left stuff. I'm not saying you got to be a drone. I'm not saying you got to be part of the Borg and just be the same as everybody else 100%. But if you keep doing these things that are not conservative, then it's like, what's going on? Maybe you should just be a regular person that's kind of not really sure what they want to be. I'm not saying that most people are like that. I'm just saying if you're a regular person, you don't have to be political. You could just be doing whatever. You don't have to vote if you don't want to. Now, I suggest everyone vote, so don't get that twisted, but you don't have to participate in the system if you don't want to. Now, if that's you, then that's your prerogative. That's your right to vote. You have the right to vote or not to vote. That's your prerogative. However, if you don't really want to vote and you really don't want to be involved and you really don't want to have to adhere to some of these core tenets, then you should just fall back and not be a politician, not be a political YouTuber or a podcaster or whatever she's trying to be. You know, I'm not sure what's going on. Is she still doing comedy? Is that really a thing anymore? Is she going to be doing Netflix specials like Amy Schumer? And by the way, that Amy Schumer special was the worst thing in the world. The Amy Schumer Netflix special was the absolute worst. With the leather pants and stuff like that. That special was so bad, it ruined the whole platform as far as the rating system. That was the worst special ever. So maybe some of these so-called comedians aren't really that good, and they realize that, and then it's like, you know what? Let's pivot over here to do some politics type stuff. You know, I got to do something else because my comedy ain't paying the bills, right? Just like your man, Colin Kaepernick, you know, this football playing, you know, I ain't trying to get CTE and go on a rampage. I ain't trying to get my leg broke on the field by some crazy linebacker, you know, hooked on drugs. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go be a social activist. I'm going to pick my afro out to where it's picture perfect. I'm talking about this afro, Colin Kaepernick, his afro is like a work of art in itself. It's like it's airbrushed. Matter of fact, hold on. I just want to show it right quick because I've never in my life seen the afro picked so beautifully on this revolutionary. You're this big roughneck and, you know, you're a revolutionary, yet you have this, you're like a chia pet type grooming. You're the kind of, if you were a dog, you'd be in the Westminster Dog Show. You understand what I'm saying? Would the poodles be all manicured and whatnot? With a 100-year-old lady walking it around? That's you, Colin Kaepernick, with your afro. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me just find this. It was on the Ava DuVernay special, if I'm not mistaken, and they ain't gonna let me find it. They don't want to let me to be. I can't be great right now. But if you guys, oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. There we go. Okay, so all I'm saying is, at a certain point, these people realize that their career and whatever they're doing is not really going well, so they opt for a different career, right? So you get this beautiful, I mean, that's a beautiful afro. I ain't even going to hold you. You know, if I can get an afro like that, I'd do it. But my hair don't grow too far. You know, I got them West African genes, man, running through the jungle. It ain't really, I ain't going to get caught up in no branches. I can't have no big afro like that. But anyway, that right there is crazy. A revolutionary, I think not. You look like you are a bootleg version of Morpheus from the Matrix. But I will move right along. Thank you for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere in the world. If you're enjoying what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. The moral of those few stories about Sarah Silverman and Colin Kaepernick is there's a lot of actors out there in the world, and they're not all on a Hollywood set specifically. They act in different ways. They act in politics. They act in other kinds of entertainment, podcasts, and your everyday. You have actors in your everyday life. You think somebody's one way, but they're a different way. That's just how it is. That's life in general. Oh, Bob Ross. Oh, Bob Ross had a beautiful afro too. That man, that right there, that's a Bob Ross inspired afro. You understand? So shout out to Bob Ross, R.I.P. R.I.P. to the OG Bob Ross. And if you guys are pretty young, you don't know who Bob Ross is, I'm gonna put him up on the screen right quick, just for the youngsters who don't really know. I know a lot of you guys are kind of young. You may never seen him before. So that's Bob Ross right there. Okay, a fantastic afro, right? A white guy with a beautiful afro. And if you guys never seen him before, He would do the paintings like live on TV. Fantastic artist. Shout out to the OG Bob Ross. 100%. All right, so let's get to some other things here. And what else we got? Oh my, okay, yeah. So the lone black juror in the Jussie Smollett case. This was fantastic. Shout out to Black Conservative Perspective. I saw he put a video out about this. I didn't watch this video because I want to give you a unique take. I didn't want to take his take and put it into mine. But I saw he did a video on this and had to look it up for myself. And the black juror, the only black juror from the Jussie Smollett case, spoke to the media out there in Chirac, aka Chicago. It was fantastic. He didn't necessarily roast him, but at the same time he did. And matter of fact, let's go to that clip right quick. And if you want to read the article, the link is on my website, anthonyblogan.com. But let's go to this thing here. Give me 1 second and get it set up properly. Okay, so here it is. The headline says, Jussie Smollett trial's only black juror found case, quote, sad, still wonders about motive. That's an interesting headline. Once you get to Chicago and places like that, their news becomes a little bit more, a little bit more ideologically driven. That's an interesting headline. The headline should have been, the juror thought it was common sense that Jussie Smollett he was not a victim of a hate crime. That should have been the headline, but whatever. Let's get to, hold on, don't play yet, boss. Let me get some sound. All right.
Took no pleasure in finding Smollett guilty, calling the entire case sad. Hope says the evidence against the actor was overwhelming, but he's still left with one unanswered question.
I still have not figured out a motive to why this had to even happen. He was a star.
Hope says he'd never seen Empire or knew much about Smollett or his case before ending up on the jury 2 weeks ago.
I was shocked. I was completely shocked that I was even picked. At that point, I took it very seriously.
The 63-year-old Bellwood resident and retired Cook County Forest Preserves employee who's married with 2 sons around Smollett's age says the actor's claim that the Osindero brothers attacked him for real simply made no sense.
2 o'clock in the morning, cold outside. When you just use your common sense as what's there, yeah, it didn't add up.
Hope says the noose used in the staged attack was a critical piece of evidence. After wearing the rope home, Smollett claimed he took it off, then put it on for police to see.
As an African-American person, I'm not putting that noose back on at all.
Hope says the jury never argued, was never deadlocked, and simply took its time to be thorough during 9.5 hours of deliberations. He praised his fellow jurors, but said it was disappointing that he was the lone African-American on the panel.
How can we say that this is a jury of your peers when there's only one African-American? And there were plenty there. So you could have got 2, 3, 4 African-Americans can handle the truth too, and we can give an impartial judgment on a case.
Hope says he thinks the actor has lost enough and doesn't deserve prison time. And he says he hopes at some point Smollett gets a second chance in Hollywood.
So there you have it.
Andre Hope says he took no pleasure in finding
the black juror from the Jussie Smollett case spoke out. It's kind of rare to see that happen, juror speaking out, but I'm glad that he did speak out, because he said a thing that a lot of us in the community, as they say, the black community, we have been saying. It's like, well, everybody said it, really. It's not even a black thing. Everybody said it. It's like the story didn't make any sense from the jump. So it's cold outside, very cold, polar vortex, several degrees below zero. You're just going to stroll out there 2 o'clock in the morning, get a Subway sandwich, eat the sandwich after you get attacked by these big white guys talking about this is MAGA country. Why would they be out there at that time of night talking about MAGA country? You don't even have the usual suspects, the gangbangers and the homeless out there at that time of night with that temperature. You be out there at that time of night, you're going to be dead. So nobody's going to be out there just willy-nilly walking around. It's not going to happen. That's like saying somebody going to be out in Phoenix, Arizona in 130-degree weather in the summertime with a Bubba Goose down coat on. I mean, they're going to be dead pretty soon. Like, it didn't make any sense. And if you guys see that so-called noose, that the little string rope, that's where you put on your car when you're trying to tie a Christmas tree to it. That's twine That's the I have no money. I'm about to get evicted right now. I got to move rope. And the thing is, one thing I didn't even know that I saw in that clip was that he took the noose off, the so-called noose. He took it off and then put it back on for the officers. And he said that he did that. I'm like, why would you do that? If it was so traumatizing and they were trying to lynch you, why would you take the rope off and then put it back on? The whole story made 0 sense from the jump, and anybody could have seen it. Now, as far as it's concerned about there not being more black jurors, I mean, how many want to volunteer? Because I've not been caught at jury duty, but you have to respond to those things, and you got to volunteer, yes? You got to want to do it, right? Well, maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm not really sure. But isn't there certain criteria you got to meet, and you got to volunteer? You got to want to do it. So maybe there's other things going on. It's not just a race thing. I mean, now to be fair, he didn't say it was racist, but I'm just saying, like, maybe there's a different reason why they're not on the jury pool. Regardless, it doesn't even really matter. Anybody could have seen that was fraudulent. It wasn't even in doubt. I like how you said that nobody even argued. it was pretty much a done deal. Anybody could have seen that. So shout out to him for speaking out. I'm glad he did it. And you know what? I like how they said that he's married and has 2 kids around Jussie's age. He's probably seen his boys do dumb things like that when they were kids. Not quite to the extent of, you got one of these guys in the bathhouse doing cocaine, and then you out here staging the fake hate crime to try and get money, recognition, fame, and attention and whatnot. Not quite like that, but just dumb things that boys do, all right? Just stupid stuff. So he's probably seen some boys do dumb things. So then when he heard what he was doing, he was like, okay, you're just an idiot, basically. You're a 35-year-old little boy, essentially. But I digress. Yeah, the gay Tupac, that was hilarious. It's like, sir, the gay Tupac, only in your dreams, only in your vivid imagination, and your pea brain. The funniest thing is how you got Africans. I can't get over that. I'm sorry. I cannot get over how you use Africans for this hate hoax rather than some white guys. You can find some white guys somewhere. I mean, come on. Illinois is not all black. It's 70% white or more. You can find 2 white guys in the state of Illinois or Indiana or in Hollywood or somewhere to make this whole thing work. Africans, big bodybuilding. I mean, come on, man. How much more conspicuous could you get than Africans? Even if you hired some white guys and they snitched and said that he hired us, maybe you could have pulled that one off, maybe. But Africans, I mean, the dumbest guy in the world. So shout out to my man. His name is Andre Hope, the black juror. Shout out to him for just standing up for what's right and speaking out, because a lot of people don't want to speak out. They'll say things like that kind of behind closed doors, maybe so don't nobody hear them, don't nobody see them, but they don't want to come out there in the public and say it. So shout out to them, right? So let's move on to some more here. And again, thank you all for joining. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet, so I couldn't do it without y'all. Now, where's the next one I wanted to get to? Denver segregation. So there's a school called Centennial Elementary School. And outside of the school, there's a sign that says, let's pull it up right quick, just make sure we're on the same page. And this is from Christopher Rufo. And there's, of course, proof of this. It's not just, a meme on the internet. It's not just something that somebody made up, a Photoshop or a false image. No, it's real. There's sources. And again, go to my website, anthonyblogan.com. I have all my sources. This night is on their school calendar. It's on mrctv.org and a few other places. But here is the sign. Centennial Elementary Families of Color Playground Night, Wednesday, December the 8th, 4:10 p.m. Now, this day was canceled because of the virus, allegedly, but they had been doing this night for quite a few weeks now. And it's crazy because I thought that progressives wanted to go forward, not backward. Is this not segregation? If it's not, then what is it? Families of color playground night. So if you're not quote unquote of color, you can't be there. Now flip it around. Let's have it say families of European descent, families of whiteness, playground night. Would that be accepted? No, it wouldn't be. You would have Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, the NAACP, the ACLU, the SPLC, the FBI, the DOJ, the IRS, everybody, every alphabet letter organization, every alphabet letter news organization will be up there in Denver, Colorado, and the whole world will stand up and take notice. Oh, this is racist. Segregation is back. How dare these white people do this? They're evil. White supremacy is real. Oh, but because it's families of color playground night, then it's all good, right? My thing is this. If it's wrong to have segregation, then it's wrong, period. Either it's right or it's wrong. Now, if you want to have a day like this, then all right, check it out. Here's some parameters that I would set. If you want to have a day like this, then you need to have every race have a day like this if they want it. So if there's a white only night, then that should be fine, right? You can't have both ways. Either you can have all or you can have none. The best way to go for it would be to have none, because you don't want to separate anybody. Have everybody pretty much be together. Now, if, for example, you have a playground, right? Or how can I say, like recess time, and the black kids play with the black kids, whites play with whites. What can you do to stop that? I wouldn't really stop that, because you see that in the lunch tables, white kids sitting together, black kids sitting together, depending upon where you are, depending upon the part of the country that you're in. That's not always the case. And I'm not sure how it is nowadays, because times change. When I was a kid, it was like that, black kids and white kids and all of that didn't mix that much as far as socially. I'm not sure how it is nowadays, and I guess it depends on where you live. Where I was at in VA, it was like that. But it wasn't a bad thing. Everybody pretty much got along. There was no black this and white that. It wasn't like that. We kind of just went where we wanted to go naturally. It wasn't a special time set up for different races to do certain things. Okay? Say they do it in prison. Yeah, I heard about them doing it in prison. Whereas, and it's dead serious in prison. If you cross lines of the whites and the blacks, it could be a problem. You could die like that, but that's a different story. And for now, I'll put that to the side and digress. The whole point is that this is happening right now in a Denver elementary school. Now, the parents were the ones who requested it. Matter of fact, let's put the article up right quick too. And again, I have sources on my website. This is going to be on the Daily Caller. So the parents requested this night, right? Let's go ahead and hold on. Let me get the ad block off so they'll stop bugging me about that. So you see, it says it right here. And it says black families requested segregated playground night. That's what they say. And the reason is because, well, like I was saying in my video, once you pass the Mississippi, once you go west of the Mississippi, there's not that many black folks. Once you pass like Memphis and St. Louis, there ain't that many black folks. There are some, but not that many. I mean, except for Texas. But once you leave Texas, Louisiana, whatnot, and you go to like Colorado, California, Utah, Washington State, Oregon, ain't that many black folks. So these parents in Denver, they say, you know what? We don't really get to interact with other black parents that much. We don't really see them except for when we, picking up the kids and dropping them off. We want to have time together with the parents and their kids, have a little playtime and whatnot. So we want a black only night. So when you see something like people of color, ask yourself, what does that really mean? Does it mean people of color, or does it mean a specific race? It means black in this case, because the parents wanted it. Now, the funny part is that you live in Denver, Colorado. How black is that particular city? If you really want to have a black experience, go to Atlanta, go to Memphis, go to South Memphis. You get to throw gang signs and all that kind of stuff in the school. Oh, you don't want to do that? Oh, okay. You don't want to go to East Atlanta? You don't want to go to the West Side? You don't want to go to Bankhead, Bordercrest. Okay. You don't want to do that. Oh, you want to go to Colorado up in with the white folks. Oh, okay. But at the same time, you want to have a black space. make that make sense. It's like, what's that show on Netflix? I've not seen it, but I heard about it. What's that? Dear White People. First of all, why you have a black show called Dear White People? The dumbest thing in the world. But anyway, isn't it about a group of black kids that go to a mostly white school and create a black space in the white school? Why not go to a mostly black college? You get all kind of black spaces there. Norfolk State, Hampton, go right there. Howard. Now, if you go to Howard, you might have to camp outside because you got roaches and rats and mold and whatnot in your dormitory, and you're paying like $45,000 a year. You're going to have a whole house note on your back when you graduate, and it might not be a good education, and they're trying to ask the federales for aid money to fix their dormitories. But it's a black experience, right? That's what you want. But anyway, I will move on. The whole point is that the parents wanted this. Now, again, if you want to have the black experience exclusively in this place, then the whites got to have their experience. Okay? How about pumpkin spice night? How about that? Pumpkin spice and Uggs. Have that be a night. Why not? If you got a black night, have a white night and a Mexican night and an Asian night. Let's do it that way. If you don't want to do stuff like that, then let's not do it at all. Either do it or don't. Now, as far as black colleges, they can exist because they're historically black, meaning they're not exclusively black. If you go to HBCU, you see people that are not black there. It's not very many, but you see people that are not black there. You have white guys on the baseball team, and you have people that live in the area locally that want to go there. And there are some black colleges that are mostly white nowadays. I think there's one in West Virginia. I think West Virginia State University, that's mostly a mostly white HBCU in West Virginia. There's a couple more that are now mostly white, but used to be mostly black. But they can exist because they're not exclusive. But if you have an exclusive event, how can that be so when others do not have their exclusive events? It's got to be the same way all the way around. It's got to be fair. That's all I'm saying. It's got to be fair. 100%. All right. So, I mean, how about you guys? Like, is that a thing where you live? I'm hearing about this a lot. I'm hearing about there's special like counseling available for the Cal Rittenhouse thing. If people of color are affected, if students of color are affected by the Cal Rittenhouse verdict, they're able to get special kind of counseling. It's all kind of stuff going on. And shout out to, I think it might have been Lauren Chin. I think it was Lauren Chin. She was talking about when she went to school in California and she was in a dormitory, they had the dorm split up by race. But it wasn't like, how can I say, it wasn't like they said it was split up by race, but you could tell that was what's going on. You could tell that, okay, you're in California, right? You're not in China, not in Hong Kong or nothing like that. You're in California, but yet everybody around you on your floor is Asian, like Chinese Asian. And then over there, it's a bunch of, East Indians, red dye Indians. Then you got black folks over there and white folks over there and foreigners and, people that don't really speak English over there. So it's like, what's going on? You're being segregated by race. Here's a question. Civil rights, was it worth it? Did we want that? Was that a good thing? I can't tell because I keep seeing these things that they're trying to undo integration. They're trying to go back to 1940, 1950. But I keep getting told that 1940 and 1950 was not good for black folks. How dare you talk about 1960 when we had an 80% two-parent household rate in the black community? That was the worst time for us. If it was a bad time for us, then why are we trying to go back there? Why are we trying to go back there as far as policy and everything else? It must not been that bad. So we can't have this thing about the 40s and 50s, 60s were so bad, while at the same time we're trying to recreate these times. You can't have that chip on your shoulder anymore. No more of that. You got to just let it go. And that's what I would say to anybody that asks me about the whole situation. Let those so-called bad days go, because you want the bad days, the quote-unquote bad days policies back. Apparently, it works well for you. You enjoy having an event just for you guys in this particular place where no one else can enter if they want. You enjoy having that. Remember that video I played a while ago, a few weeks ago, where it was a guy in college. It was two white guys, and they were in this room, like this big open room, I'm not really sure what to call it, just some kind of study center, right? And then they were approached by these two girls, not really sure what race they were. I have no idea, but they appeared to be non-white. Some kind of mixed biracial, Asian, black, I don't know, non-white. They came up to him and they were harassing him, talking about, you guys can't be in here. We worked for 5 years in college. We spent 5 years trying to get this room just for us. You're culturally appropriating. You're in our space. You shouldn't be in our space. So now, if you're a white guy and you happen to just be sitting down doing some work at college, you're being told to get out because you're not the right race. So if that's going to be the case, then what would happen if it was the other way around, where it was a mostly white space and then a couple of black kids sat in there, and then the white guy said, hey, man, you're in the wrong space. We're going back in time. But I keep getting told back in time was so bad. I can't tell. I cannot tell. I guess what they say is right. What's old will become new. You know, trends of the past are going to come back and become like popular again. Just like if you guys watch sports, I'm not sure if you do, but back in the 80s, guys wear these really, really short shorts, almost like Daisy Dukes, or, you know, not quite tight like that, but they were just real short, right? And then once you got to be like in the 2000s, the Allen Iverson days, the cornrows and oversized T-shirts, guy has these really big and baggy shorts down past their knees. Not as far as sagging, but as far as the length of the short. The short would be up on their waist, but the length was almost like capri pants. Okay, like parachute pants. It was really big shorts. But now these young guys are going back to the shorter shorts. What was once old will become new. That's happening right now with segregation in schools in full force. Yeah, and tall socks, that's coming back. I mean, bring back them the Converse All-Stars with no ankle support. They probably ain't going to do that, because these guys, high-flying, dunking, I mean, you're going to be in the hospital right away messing around with those shoes, okay? That's not a good combination, but I digress. Yeah, you're right about that, Boomhauer. Bruce Jenner wore those short shorts on the cover of the Wheaties box, and then he put on a long dress, but I digress. Thank y'all for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoy what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're listening to me on your favorite audio streaming platform, give me a 5-star rating, give me a review, give me a share, a recommendation, whatever you can, and I most certainly appreciate you for that. Jinko, what you know about Jinkos, Scrunchy? Oh, man, those are the good old days with the Jinkos. All right, so, student loans. Man, oh, man, this is my favorite topic, student loans. Now, I am, just to give you a quick rundown about me, if you don't know, I am a guy that is against the student loan industrial complex. Matter of fact, pardon me, I'm against the higher education industrial complex. Let me explain. Now, Biden on the campaign trail promised to cancel like $10,000 worth of student loan debt for everybody. So if you have 10 grand in debt or more, which everybody does if you have a lot of debt for student loan debt, he would cancel like $10,000. The far left, a lot of your Ilhan Omars and whatnot, AOCs, they were saying 10 grand is nothing. Let's get $45,000, $50,000 of student loan debt canceled, meaning forgiven. You don't pay it back. But that has not happened. It was funny because Jen Psaki put out something talking about the administration has canceled like $12.5 billion of student loan debt so far, meaning the Biden administration. But the total student loan debt in the USA is $1.6 trillion. You know how much that is? Like, here's put it in context. If you guys didn't see my video, 16 billion is 1% of 1.6 trillion. 16 billion with a B is 1% of 1.6 trillion. And if I'm wrong about that, y'all let me know, but I doubt that I'm wrong. I think I'm right. So if they canceled 12.5 billion, that's less than 1% of the total student loan debt. And the debt keep going up. It's going up. And they said that 12.6 billion they canceled was for like 640,000 people, which equates to about $19,000 per person, which is nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. I'm hearing about guys and girls that have $170,000 in debt with no degree. $170,000 in debt with no degree. Imagine that. Imagine that. I'm trying to be a PhD, but I had a back injury, so I had to stop, so I didn't get my degree. That's a house, literally a house. It might be an abandoned house, what they call a bando, but it's a house regardless. No degree. People 80 grand in debt, no degree. 100 grand in debt, struggling to pay the bills. And you got to pay those student loan bills because it's, the federales have sponsored the bill. They sponsored the loan. Okay, it's guaranteed by the federales, which means that it's guaranteed by you. Because the federales have no money. They have your money that they spend on whatever they want to spend. So if you rack up the student loan debt, they're going to get their money back one way or the other. They're going to garnish your wages, your tax return, your bank account. They'll go right in your bank account and just take money. Just take it. I've seen it happen. People crying. Oh, well, hey, you should have thought about it before you got the student loan guaranteed by the federal government. But anyway, so people were saying, hey, we need to get student loan debt canceled. We got to have student loan reform, all this and that and the third. But they don't understand. They're talking about having more government to fight the problem, to fix the problem. But the problem is the government itself. If the government were not involved, then you would not have this big $1.6 trillion bubble of student loan debt that's ever rising. You got kids every day going to look at college campuses to see the bright lights and the amenities and all the, all the glitz and the glamour of the college, the athletics, to see all that stuff and like, hey, I want to go here. I want to be Fighting Irish. I want to be X, Y, and Z. I want to be a Spartan. I want to be a monarch. Okay, how about that debt though? You're not really worried about that, huh? Reality strikes after you graduate and you have a degree in underwater basket weaving. And it's like, okay, where am I going to work at? What skills do I have to get employment? It'd be a guy straight from India with no big student loan debt on his back that'd take a job that you wanted to get or that you could have gotten. Now you're realizing what's going on in the world and how things actually work and how you need certain skills that will apply in the market and not just a sheet of paper. That's not going to do you no good. You got to have marketable skills, which you can get oftentimes without going to college at all. But anyway, so the whole process, the whole thought process was that Biden would cancel some student loan debt, like 10 grand in debt. That was going to be what he did. But he's not going to do that, at least not anytime soon. And in the meantime, there was a moratorium on paying student loans back. It wasn't a cancellation. It was just a pause. It's like, okay, for right now, you're having a hardship because of the virus or whatever. You lost your job. You can't make ends meet. You can take a pause for now, for about a year or more, however long it was. But that's coming to an end February 1st, 2022. So if you're living in an Airbnb in Los Angeles and you on a gram stunting and you're not paying any kind of rent or you're not paying your student loans or you're not really paying what you should be paying, okay, it's time to move out. Collect all your belongings, move back to your grandma's basement, and pay those student loans back. Because they're going to get their money regardless, period. I saw Pete Buttigieg's husband talking about, I don't want to pay it. That's not a good thing. Well, I don't know why you crying. You a house husband. You're a man making like 200 grand a year. You got the money. I'm not trying to hear what you got to say. You're a part-time drama teacher at some kind of college. You got the money. Don't even worry about it. You'll be all right. But a regular person may not have it. Now, this should be an eye opener to all. Please don't go to college if you have no direction, if you don't know what you want to do, and if you don't really need it. If you're trying to be a doctor or something like that, okay, I understand. If you're trying to be a lawyer, if you're going to get into a field that has specific skill requirements and you need college, then by all means go for it. But please, oh please, don't get robbed. Don't go to school with no direction, talking about, I'm gonna do general studies. Don't do nothing like that. You're getting robbed. And they won't tell you you're getting robbed because they want your money. If you're going to your advisor, they're not your lawyer. They're the advisor for the school, not for you. They're going to say what makes best sense for the school. You understand? Like, imagine if you had a lawyer with you advising you on what to do rather than a school counselor. Okay? That's not how it's go. It's like going to a record label, right? You're 18 years old. You're trying to be a superstar. And you go to the record label, and they got a contract right there. They have their lawyer right there to read it to you and to explain what's going on, but you don't have your lawyer. You think that everything's all good, right? Because they got a lawyer for me. They got a good contract. I make a lot of money. This is a big name record label. But you didn't realize that it was a finesse because the lawyer that's there is representing the company, not you. So then 2 years later, when you realize you're not getting paid no money from the record label, you like, hey, what happened? I thought I had a lawyer and everybody was on my side. Nah, they were on the label side. The label is doing really well off your music, sir. Off of your top 10 anthem. Okay? Drink More Liquor. That's the hottest song in the world right now, right? They're getting paid. The lawyer got paid, but you didn't. That's how it works. College is the same way. I don't care. Like, I look at it as straight business. People look at it in an emotional way. You know, they got cap and gown and they crying. Forget all that. This is business because it's your money at the end of the day. It's your money. You take it where it's supposed to go. I see these kids in Hampton camping out because the dorms are bad. They protest. What you protesting for? Why are you protesting when you're paying them money? You know, the best way to protest? The best way to protest is dropping out, transferring, not giving them your money no more. That's how you protest right there. When you take that money away, now you got something going on. But you paying no money? Nah, see, you done already messed up. They got you now. They don't care if you protesting. So what? I got your money. Deal with it. Live off campus. Okay? Live in VA or Maryland and drive to Howard. Catch an Uber. Don't live on campus. Yeah, you pay room and board for like $15,000 a year, but so what? And stay with your grandma in Annandale or somewhere and drive to Hampton. Or Howard, pardon me. That's what they're going to say. So, there will be no student loan debt moratorium or cancellation. You're going to pay that. And to any kids out there listening to the sound of my voice, please, oh, please, oh, please, if you can avoid college, do it. If you can avoid college, do it. Don't go down the road because your mom say, hey, you got to go to college for what, though? Like, if it was me, if I could tell myself a thing when I was younger, well, really, I was different. I kind of knew what was going on when I was a youngin', so I didn't have this problem. I knew what it was from the very beginning. I knew not to go straight to a 4-year college. I knew to go to a community college where I could pay for it out of my own pocket, and it wasn't going to be a problem. I knew to not accrue a bunch of debt. I knew all that stuff. But if I could tell my friends, put it to you like that, if I can go back and tell my friends in school what I know now, I'd be like, yo, if your mom is trying to pressure you or your dad or both are trying to pressure you to go to college, I'd be like, for what? Why should I go to college? What am I going to do? What's the purpose? What's the reason? You got kids going to college with no direction at all, just going and partying all of the time. So you're going to pay a school $35,000, $45,000 a year to party. You could stay at your hometown and do that for free. You know, you could just be a bum on the street having a good old time. Why are you going to pay all that money to go party and not even go to school for what? You need to be trying to get skills to go out there and get money from the market, period. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, learn about finances, the stock market, learn about these meme stocks, learn about all that. Because I got some young family members making plenty of money out here in the stock world. They're doing things that make sense in the current day that we live in. Just going to school just because is the dumbest thing you could do. Period. I don't care if anybody's doing that right now or if you've done it. And if you have done it, you know I'm telling the truth. So, yeah, shout out to the Biden administration, though, for dangling that carrot in front of people. Oh, I get my student loans paid off. I was watching Dave Ramsey. Shout out to him. And I said that in my video earlier. But a caller called in talking about, hey, should I take out a student loan so I can pay other things? Like I want a car. Like the person was trying to get a student loan because they thought that Biden might forgive it. First of all, that's called fraud right there, because if you don't really intend to go to school or you just want to get the money because it'll be forgiven, that's called fraud right away. And the federales will find you. They're going to track your number. They're going to call Ramsey and be like, yo, give us the records from that particular show and give us that number that called into the show. We're going to track them down and we're going to charge them for fraud. Like the whole PPP loan. People talking about, oh, yeah, I'm going to start a business and then I'm going to get a loan. You are in a penitentiary right now, sir. Big rocks, little rocks. That's where you at right now. It's called fraud. People are crazy. The moral of that story is, if you're going to go to college, go there for a very specific reason, not just to party or for no reason or to do general studies, underwater basket weaving, language. Don't do that to yourself. Don't put all that debt on your back with no way to pay it off. And that debt ain't going nowhere. Bankruptcy, nope. That's going to go with you forever. You're going to get your taxes garnished. So do the right thing from me. Take it from me. All right. Oh, and also, one last thing. If you know that you're not really doing that well in school, that you're not at the level of some of the top people in the country academically, don't go to one of these Ivy Leagues because they accept you. You understand? Like, what they're doing right now is this whole thing about denying Asian Americans or just Asians to get in more blacks and Hispanics. If you know that, let's say, for example, you go to these competitions across the country. You go to like these math workshops and these spelling bees or whatever you go to, and you travel, and you know your level of academic performance, you know kind of where you at. If you know you're not at the top, don't go to an Ivy League. You're going to struggle. They have you there because of diversity stuff. Don't do it to yourself. All right? Do things that make sense, period. Yeah, everybody is not college material. That's right, Haley. Everybody is not college material, and that's okay. You can make plenty of money out here doing blue-collar stuff. You know, these electricians and plumbers making plenty of money. Right now, especially, making plenty of money. These guys that got sent to Kentucky because of the tornado, big money. Big money. These guys, a lot of times, make more money than the guys that have big degrees and make six figures still because of the debt-to-income ratio and everything else. They got more freedom, more flexibility, more longevity. It's a more in-demand thing. So that's just what that is. But it's time for the super chats. We'll get to the calls in a minute. I got everything I wanted to get to. I got to student loans and the Jussie Juror, Silverman, Segregation. I got everything I wanted to get to. All right. Cody says, I'm a carpenter, no union. Yeah, shout out to you, man. You getting plenty of money over there. Getting plenty of money. Yeah, nursing is a big one. All day long. Yeah, the trades are very important. See, my skill is graphic design, web design, and also I'm good with just building stuff. You know, I was on the phone with a few people that I know. Shout out to y'all. You know, helping them build a computer like through the phone. I was like, okay, take that screw out right there, put that in there. You know, I was building computers for people when I was like 18, 19, just as like a little side hustle. So I have skills for myself that I can do, and I can do that all the time, regardless. I know this world very well. That's why I'm able to succeed in it. People that have a lot of my same ideas and they can speak or whatever better than I can can't always succeed because they don't understand how to do this. They don't understand this world, how to do it properly. But I do. I also know search engine optimization and all that. I have a lot of skills that I use for what I do right here. So the best thing I would say is just to accumulate skills, gather skills, and have marketable skills you can use for a very long time. And you can always learn new things, even if you're older like me. If you're like almost 40 years old, learn something new. Why not? College is going to die off soon. Not really sure when. I mean, it could be in 20 years, but ultimately people are going to stop going as much as they had been going in the past because it's serving less of a purpose. College still does produce people, of course, in the workforce, but that's becoming less of a thing. You're going to have schools that die because people aren't really going the way they did before. But I move on. YouTube got all kind of tutorials and ways to learn a particular skill. Why go to college? Same thing with K through 12 public school. That's going to die off pretty soon as well. Why send kids to school where they're going to get indoctrinated, where you got all these LGBT people in there trying to groom them from a young age? It's too dangerous in a variety of ways. You got shootings going on in these dangerous environments. People talking about, he owed me some money for my drugs. I'm going to shoot him in the school. And then you have the LGBT stuff. Now, I got to be careful here, but I think you understand what's going on with the LGBT stuff in school. It's not your regular people that happen to be LGBT. It's not them, just the normies that are LGBT. Think about it like Catholic Church. And I'll leave it right there. That's what's happening right now in school. If you don't understand, if you can't see that, I'm telling you right now, that's what's happening. It's clear. It's clear. But I will go ahead and digress. Super chats on deck. Thank you to Apu for a few who says, Doug Ripley wants to know, you like eggnog or Christmas cake? What is Christmas cake? I have no idea. I like eggnog though, but I don't drink. So my eggnog with no alcohol in it. But I do like regular eggnog with no alcohol. Shout out to Apu again who says, please play video. I'm dreaming of a masked Christmas. I've not seen that. Y'all got to send it to me. No, I can't just find that. Apu says, masked Christmas song, so cringe, you'll love it. You got to send it to me. Send it to my email. Farner Face says, Philly got a vax mandate where you have to show your card to eat or enter a public dining area. First, they took plastic bags away. Now, outdoor dining. That's crazy. That's 100% crazy. And you know what? The funniest thing I saw was in San Fran, where you can't have plastic bags, or you couldn't at one point. Are the bags back or not? I'm not really sure. But no plastic bags, but plenty of free syringes to shoot heroin all day. That's fine. And they be on the ground, dirty, all that. But you can't have plastic bags. And these masks are everywhere. These masks are ridiculous. Like where I live, we're not necessarily in the mask place. You can if you want to, but people don't really wear them like that. And we don't have this big outbreak of the bug here in Tennessee. But in some places, you still got masks going on. They still got mask mandates. I'm like, what's that? But these masks become litter all over the ground. It's crazy. It's like you see masks on the ground, like you would see weave in the hood on the ground. Apu says, reminder that Waukesha innocents were murdered by a BLM supporter that are Americans still trapped, and there are Americans still trapped in Afghanistan. And that January 6th was done by FBI and Pelosi. Thank you to Apu who says, which rhino is most evil? McConnell, Cheney, Romney. Mitt Romney is the worst out of all of them. Honorable mention, Adam Kinzinger. He's bad too. Adam Kinzinger is a CNN wannabe. That's all that is. He's trying to get attention, in my humble opinion. He thinks he's handsome, wants to be on the camera, trying to be a CNN anchor. He's trying to be the next Donna Lemon. That's what that is. Or Anderson Cooper, but different story. I digress. Thank you to the Anti-View says, thanks for being amazing, ABL. The best on the internet. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Apu says, God bless January 6th, MAGA Patriots, solitary in D.C. jail. Fauci says, there is no need for boosters on specific variants. Them boosters was coming out like the Saw movies back in the day. new one a month. Exactly. Like Jordans and all that good stuff. It's crazy. And they're going to keep coming out with them, though, because he'll say that right now. But ultimately, they're going to keep putting them out because they keep making money. There's always going to be an excuse. Oh, it's a new variant and it's severe and we got to catch it. You got to nip it in the bud. They're talking about shot number 4 already. Before number 3 is rolled out properly, they're talking about number 4. Number 5, number 6, and then it'll get to be like Roman numerals. It's getting to be ridiculous. Let me see. Apple says, please help January 6th, MAGA at Patriot Freedom Project. Mike, thank you to you for your donation. Thank you to Apple, who says, follow Julie Kelly at American Greatness January 6th info. Also, ABL, do you do winter sports? Ski, snowboard, ski-doo, skate? Nah, I'm not a winter guy. My sports, basketball, football, baseball. That's what I like. If I gotta be out in the cold, nah. The most I'm gonna do is hit you with a snowball in the head. That's all I'm gonna do. No snow sports for me. Ain't no what's a man's name that do the snowboarding? Sean something. You know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. The redhead guy. Shout out to him. But nah, that ain't my wave. I watch it on TV for a while, but that's it. And thank you to Pete Sangria, who says, shout out to Denver. We finna sit in the back of the bus. Crazy. Thank you to Laura Catherine, who says, I got a Let's Go Brandon ornament for my Christmas tree. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to ABL in the chat. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. That's a good ornament from my point of view. Apple says FBI didn't solve Seth Rich or Vegas shooting defund. Also, you see Biden pep talk Democrats so slimy and cringe. I've not seen that. What was that like? Where he was saying that we're a purple nation. Is that what's going on? Hold on, I'm gonna find that right quick. Let me make sure that I got the right thing. Hold on here. Matter of fact, wait 1 second. Okay, I'm messing up big time. Oh, here it is. There we go. No, this ain't it. Hey, I'm struggling. Give me 1 second. But I did see this a little while ago on the Twitters where he's talking about we're a purple country. So maybe that was the particular the pep talk. I'm not really sure. I'll find it at a different time, I suppose. It might be right here. No, that's not. Let's move on. More super chats. Andy the Gypsy says, ABL, my girl and I are huge fans. Really want to get a cameo from you. Please get on the platform for your fans. I need to do that. I've heard that on more than one occasion, quite a few times actually. So I'll do that for y'all. Because I've gotten people that DM me and I've done it. So it's like, I might as well get on there to go ahead and just, you know what I mean? If anyone wants that, I'll go ahead and get him a cameo. Apple also says Cameo was 80s singer. Word up. Shout out to Cameo, the group from the 80s. Also, blue state governors mass mandates, but Democrats still party. Thank you to Maria, who says, hi, ABO. Can you cover the story of Tyler Moldovan, Phoenix police officer gunned down by a convicted felon who should have never been out on the streets? I'll look into it. Tyler Moldovan. I'll check it out. Let me just Google that right quick. And wow. Said he got shot 8 times. Wow. R.I.P. Thank you to Frederick Craig, who says, what type of music you listen to? I like 90s rap rock. Matter of fact, it's a station on XM. What's that called? I think it's called Turbo on XM. Turbo on XM. Listen to that, and we be on the same page. Pantera, Korn, all that kind of stuff I like. I listen to rap sometimes too, and that's pretty much it. Fauna Face says that Afro so pro-black. It's sponsored by Blue Magic, Murray's Pomade, and Laurie Seasoning Salt. The Anti-View says sirens are going off in Minnesota right now. Have a great show. Wow, what's going on? What's happening? Is it a weather event? Let me know what's going on. Fauna Face says he said Subway was open at 2 a.m. Juicy said he did it because Lee Daniels rejected that idea of this scene and decided to do the hoax. Do forget. That's crazy. Thank you to Angel for being a supporter. You guys are fantastic. Angel and Marty. Thank you to Apple who says favorite hoax, Clock Boy, Bubba Smouye, Christine Blasey Ford. Hold on. My favorite hoax. Oh, the Clock Boy was crazy. I remember that one. If you guys forgot about Clock Boy, this boy, I think he was Muslim or something like that, some kind of Middle Eastern, I'm not really sure, I forgot, or Indian. He brought a dismantled alarm clock to school and for like a science project or something. But, I mean, obviously, if you looked at it, it appeared to be a bomb. So then there was this whole big kerfuffle over this, what could be a bomb. And then they were talking about, oh, it's racist because he's brown. You thought it was a terrorist. It's like, no, this appears to be a bomb. So I don't want a kid to come into school with a bomb on them and go a lot of what bar and blow everything up. Matter of fact, hold on. I gotta find that. I promise I gotta find it. Hold on. Ahmed Muhammad. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, okay. Now, I'm not sure what his race is, but he appears, Ahmed Muhammad. Oh, here's the thing. Here is the image. Remember this, guys? This was a few years ago. I did a story about this back then when it happened. So this is what appears to be some kind of suitcase or like a briefcase with it's like a chrome on the outside, some kind of black felt type material on the inside. And it's like a dismantled alarm clock. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Like, why did he do this? But if you saw that, if Ahmed Muhammad brings that into class, what you gonna think? Even if it ain't him, anybody, if they bring that into class, what does it appear to be? Y'all, you tell me. Just give me your instant reaction. What's that? Hey man, you about to push that button. It's about to be a lot of what, and we gonna be out of here. We're gonna be out of here. Oh, it's racist. Racist? Do you see this? That was one of the craziest hoaxes ever. The craziest. I think it was like he got celebrities to pay attention. It might have been Obama talking to him. It was crazy. It was crazy. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if Obama had spoken to him. I think he did. He sure did. Look, hold on. Look. I met the clockmaker meets President Obama. That's him right there. And then I guess, he spoke to him. So look, he spoke to the Queen of Jordan, Google co-founder Sergey Brin, and the president of Sudan, Omar al-Bashir. It's like, what are you doing in Sudan? What are you doing in Jordan? You trying to set something up? Like, what's going on? I mean, this was crazy. This was back in when was this? 2015. So this is a few years back. That's got to be one of the craziest hoaxes ever. Crazy. Talking about they racist. Sir, that looked like a bomb to me. I don't know about anybody else. If you see that in the video game, shoot it right now, or the game is going to be over. All right, so what else? Thank you to You're So Cool 23 who says, tornado touchdown and overturned semis in Nebraska today. Shout outs and prayers, my Nebraskians. Yeah, shout out to all y'all out there. Shout out to all the Nebraskians. Man, it's crazy out here, man. The tornadoes are something else. Like, we got hit last year. What was that? Like in March, we got hit by a tornado. That sound, you never forget. You hear that train sound. It's like, as I was saying in the last show, we live right by a train at a time. So we would hear trains kind of often. But this was different. I knew that it was a tornado right away, but luckily it didn't hit us dead on. It was kind of like you got kind of it's kind of hard to explain, but it didn't hit us dead on. But it was right in our neighborhood though. The neighborhood was tore up. I mean, it was one part of the neighborhood where it was a street that kind of dips down, and when it rains really bad, it's like a bowl. You can't get through it, but you got to go that way if you want to get out of the neighborhood for some people. So it was impassable. You couldn't get through it. You couldn't drive through it. You needed a boat to get across. That's how bad it was, how deep it was. It was like a bowl. And then there was trees down on some of these streets, and you got narrow roads. It was crazy, man. It was a mess. So, prayers out to everybody that's been, if you had any damage from a tornado, if you were affected by it, prayers out to you guys. Know how damaging it can be. People are still trying to clean up right now from a tornado that happened almost 2 years ago now. They're building this school called, I'm gonna say the wrong thing, but it's a Christian school, and it was destroyed totally. Grace Baptist Church was destroyed totally by a tornado. They're still trying to rebuild right now, and they got stalled because of the federal money being held up. Funny how that works. Build back better. I can't tell, but I digress. Thank you to my man Charles Turner Jr. who says, ABL, check this out, man. As of 10/1/2021, retail stores in Washington State are required to charge 8 cents for a bag, yet Seattle is a total dump in many ways, literally and figuratively. Oh, yeah. No, they want to get money from all the taxes from you guys by taxing you for your bags and everything else. But at the same time, the city is a dump. They got these sanctioned homeless places. And the thing about the homeless people, a lot of times it's drug addicts, but there's money to be made among them. As far as servicing them, they get all kind of benefits, all kind of free stuff. I was watching one thing where it was kind of anecdotal, but this is common in areas like those on the left coast. So there'll be a government contract, right? Sometimes federal money will be involved with it because you got to help the homeless. You got to build housing for the homeless. The dumbest thing that I've seen to help the homeless is these little tiny houses. Have you seen these things? It's like glorified porta potties, basically, that people live in. Hold on. Let me see if I can find one. It's like a tiny house camp. Oh, here we go. Here's a good example of them. Matter of fact, hold on. Okay, let's do it like this. Okay, how about let's not do that. All right, let me find a better picture then, since I don't want to cooperate. Okay, that'll work. There we go. Okay. So these are your little glorified porta potties, right? These little houses that people that are homeless are able to live in places like Seattle and Los Angeles sometimes. But check it out, though. This is so dumb because why not just build a project, like a high-rise project? You can house more people, and it can be managed better. You can have better security, all that stuff, right? These little houses, I mean, if you have a natural disaster, forget about it. It's going to be a wrap. You're going to have to evacuate those pretty soon. What's the point? And then it's not even putting a dent in the homeless population. So let's say in a place like Seattle, you have 5,000 or more homeless that you see on the streets, meaning your dope fiends, right? Not your regular homeless that are just on bad times and dealing with, hard luck. I'm talking about dope fiends. 5,000 of them, this is not going to help. It's like probably about 50 of these right there, 100 maybe, out of 5,000. But there's government contracts that you can get money from. There's management fees, and you get federal money, local money. So you can have, a contractor buddy and be like, hey, man, look, we're building these tiny houses. I'll give you first dibs on the bid and give me a kickback. All right, cool. So the guy that builds them, he makes money. The person who's in the city trying to pull the strings, he makes money. And it looks good for cameras. You go out there, send a reporter, film right in front of them. Oh, we're helping the homeless because of all these little houses. It serves no real purpose because you're not solving the problem. And on top of that, even if you do put a dent in the population a little bit, that's going to be replenished as far as the homeless population because they travel to places like Seattle and San Francisco and Los Angeles to be homeless because you get all these amenities. You get money, you get food. And that same thing I saw about the tiny houses, one guy said he gets money, like cash money, $1,500 a month just on whatever he wants. And what do they do with the money? They go to a hotel for about 3 days and they broke for the rest of the month. Then they got to start stealing and robbing and whatnot to get their fix money. $1,500 per month. You could work right and use that to kind of, nope, I'm going to go to a hotel for about 3 days, get high on some drugs, and be right back on the street. That's what they do with the money. It goes back to the whole thing about the Family Guy thing where, they win the lottery, then they go broke the next day. That's what happens here. So these little houses do no good at all. None. And the free needles, that's right, free food, free needles, free money, free drugs sometimes. It was some guys out there in Venice Beach, California, and they said sometimes they get free drugs from tourists, like they monkeys. You ever go to like a petting zoo? Or matter of fact, go to like a pond with some bread. It's like that. Here, take this. And it just, what I mean? That's what's going on. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. That's why I couldn't really live in a place like that with that kind of stuff going on. The more you enable it, the more it's going to continue. All right. Exactly, Amrox. It's all optics. They tug at heartstrings. Oh, it's so cute. They got little graphics on them. They got little hearts and pictures on them. But for real, it's a glorified porta potty, and it does no real good. It's not. It doesn't make any sense. Like space-wise, if you got this square footage, why not build vertical to house more people? They don't want to do that because it's not even about that. It's about just trying to have optics and to get money from the contractors and the city employees and things of that nature. That's all it's about. Okay. Is it plumbing? I'm not really sure. It probably not. I think they may have plumbing, but how good could the plumbing be in the shed? But I mean, it's a shed, or like, where's the toilet at in a place like that? You see what I'm saying? Where is the toilet? Everywhere. The whole thing is a toilet. If you see how drug addicts live, they don't really care about things like hygiene. That's not important to them at all. All right. You guys are the best audience anywhere in the world. Which you know what time it is right now. Time for the calls. I got all super chats right here caught up. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. If Skype acts up, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man. It's his fault. Look at him. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. And as always, there's an email. If you want to get in through Skype video and be right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, link for that, or the email for that, pardon me, is in the description box below. I saw the buckets. Yes, I did see the buckets. Zeda's Cane Sword. And they look kind of filled up. It looked kind of gross. So I'm not going to do too much speculating on what's inside the bucket, but I think we already know what's going on. I think we know what's happening. And don't let it be a hot summer day. Or don't let somebody kind of be agitated, a little bit upset. That thing might start, it might fly at you like a monkey in the zoo. So don't get too close. All right, do not get too close. 925, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh my God, I'm actually on. Salutations, ABL. A long-time listener here. I live in California and just wanted to talk about what's happening over here. Well, what was happening over there.
All righty.
And just things that I've been seeing because I've been traveling from California to Mexico, just back and forward. And yeah, God almighty, is it just night and day. Like, some places just don't care if you have the mask or if you're vaccinated or not. I swear to God, I've taken just a piece of paper that's just written that I make on my computer, just saying that I'm vaccinated, and they'll take that. Hey, this isn't info for anybody. Nobody take this to heart. Do not do this. But yeah, and it's just ridiculous. Like, people just look at this piece of paper and think that, yeah, oh yeah, you're vaccinated. Go ahead. Like, you're not going to check it. You're not going to check the lab that it's supposedly from. Nothing happened. It's just ridiculous. And I actually had to move from California and just grab my whole family to Arkansas, of all places, because, yeah, it was just getting ridiculous over there. Yeah, and just a little bit of input from that. And love the show. Keep it going. And thank you for having me on. Have a great night, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you. That's pretty interesting, because I was seeing one post today talking about Trump Tower has those signs up in New York City talking about, what's that, a vax mandate or something like that. But how are they really going to enforce it? How can anybody really know that what you have is right? You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of guys in professional sports, I guarantee you they have these fake cards. Antonio Brown got snitched on by his former self over a financial dispute. If not for that, nobody would have known that the card was fake. How would you know? Are you really going to be calling the place and checking behind somebody? If that's the case, what's the point in the card? Why not just call the place right away rather than trying to get a card from somebody to figure out if to tell them the truth or not? Like, it's dumb. Just call them right away and be like, hey, did somebody get it? Yeah. Show them a card, be like, hey, there it is. I got the shot. And they'll take it, or they might not even check it at all. I'll come in there with, like you said, I go to Photoshop right quick. That's my forte anyway. I make it right there, print it on my laser printer, and be like, there you go. I shouldn't have to do that, though. I shouldn't have to be involved with a thing like that. I should be able just to go to a place without having to do that. Now, I don't do that here at all. There's no vax mandates, no mask mandates, so I don't have that problem. I'm not going to be going on Photoshop to create fake passes where I live. But in a lot of places, they're not even really checking it. So the question is, what's the purpose of the card if anybody really checking it like that? It's kind of silly.
To a place.
All right, Matt, what's going on?
Baby, what's happened? Hey, your vaccine card got lost in your voting accident.
Oh yeah, that's where it's at, on the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, you did not Photoshop one. Yeah, I remember you telling me that the other day. I just asked for their vaccine card. So, yeah, I'm in Seattle, and I was asked just the other day for my vaccine card at a sandwich shop, and I said, well, "Where's your card? I need to see yours." And then they go and they get it, and then I try to take a picture of it with my phone, and I pretend like I'm typing in, okay, what's the address of this place? Like, I pretend like I'm gonna put it out there.
Wow.
And it backs them right off.
The whole thing is it's so dumb, because what's the purpose? Like, people are still catching this thing while they're so-called vaxxed. So what are we doing?
Hoping to get Omicron. And if I knew someone had Omicron, I would make out with them. I'd be like, hey, can we make out or something? Because I'm trying to get it. It's basically the herd immunity that we've all been waiting for, as far as I can tell.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, you were quoted on Zero Hedge.
You said what now? I was quoted on Zero Hedge?
Yep.
Oh, wow. What was the article?
Had something to do with the text messages that were read to Congress.
Okay.
So, you might have had two on there, actually. And then the other one was hey, why are people getting banned on Twitter for saying that people that are vaccinated can't spread COVID, or can still spread COVID? So your tweet was quoted on there for that.
Oh, it probably was the clip from Michelle Walensky.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really big one right there. That's gotten a lot of, because it just says it right there in black and white. And I kept having to, I pinned it to my profile because people kept talking about, oh, you can't catch it if you have the vax. I'm like, no. The CDC director said this is what's going on. You can catch it. You can spread it. So, yeah, that's a really important clip.
I don't know how people are confused about this. I watched that movie Tommy Boy with my son, and David Spade was playing the flight attendant, and Farley was was in the back pretending to do the seatbelt thing. And David Spade said, if you don't know how to put your seatbelt on, you are a retard, and I was like, man, they dropped the hard R back then. And I think, if you don't know that you can still get COVID with being vaccinated by now, you might be one of those hard R words,
Well, see, people, they listen to what they hear, like from people like Joe Biden, because Biden said you can't get this if you have the vaccine. He said it on TV. So they take what he says for gospel, not knowing that he's just wrong and doesn't know what he's talking about all the time. He'll say pretty much anything. They don't understand. So then when they hear a different point of view, they're like, oh, really? Yes, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are they getting their information from where they don't know this yet? And I legitimately believe they don't know this yet.
Yeah, they don't.
I remember when I was saying I wasn't very confident Trump was going to win because I think we're underestimating their ability to cheat.
Yeah.
I think they're gearing up for it too with this whole federal elections thing. Have you been following this?
No, I haven't.
They want to federalize all the elections.
Well, good luck with that. That's going to be now. How would they go about doing that? Because you got to be able to get a lot of senators on board. Is that a 2/3 majority thing in the Senate? I would assume that it would be.
Well, yeah. No, really, they'd have to repeal the 10th Amendment altogether.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You got to change a lot. Like they may try to do something like that, but I think they're going to be up against a brick wall on that one.
I would agree. Normally, the midterms are a year away, and I was shocked at how much they were able to do in a year out of the whole agenda. That's all I got for you. I'm gonna keep listening to your show, but keep watching the Fed interest rates and stuff like that. The Federal Reserve is going to accelerate the taper, so they're going to offload houses, I think, and they're going to probably try to raise rates in April, so Q2, and just hang on to your hats if something like that happens.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Be good.
All right. Great call from my man, Matt. Now, here's the clipping question that I got quoted on Zero Hedge about. So, if you've not seen it, I done played it a lot on this channel, but if you've not seen it, let's watch it one more time. This is CDC Director Rochelle Walensky on CNN with Wolf Blitzer this year talking about the bug.
Our vaccines are working exceptionally well. They continue to work well for Delta with regard to severe illness and death. They prevent it. But what they can't do anymore is prevent transmission. So if you're going home to somebody who has not been vaccinated, to somebody who can't get vaccinated, somebody who might be immunosuppressed or a little bit frail, somebody who has comorbidities that put them at high risk, I would suggest you wear a mask in public indoor settings.
So this right here has been quoted over and over and over and over and over again on my Twitter for weeks now. For weeks, every day this gets quoted because people, for some reason, like I say, they listen to people like Joe Biden. They take what he says for gospel. They think that you can't get this bug by having the vax. They think this vax works like that, but it doesn't. So then I get accused by these people of being a conspiracy theorist, all that and the third. But I'm just telling you what they said. That's all. It's simple. But it is what it is. Let's go to the next one here. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's hey, Ranger. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, it's all good, man. What's going on?
I just wanted to let you know from downtown Chicago to the Indiana border, you're pretty much not going to see any white people in that area. So Jussie Smollett, that's the one thing I kind of sympathize with him on. He had a lack of a talent to choose from. I mean, you just ain't going to find. I was in my dad's semi-truck, it's child labor. And, man, it was a sea of black people everywhere. I was like, oh, my God, I hope the truck don't break down because that's a violent area. I mean, it's violent. It's dangerous.
But you know what? My thing is, you can find at least a light-skinned person, or how about move the production? Yeah. Go somewhere else. Go to some small town. Okay, here's a story. You're out there in a small town. You're doing the show, and it's a hotel, and you get attacked. That's a much better story. It looks better rather than just right outside your house, and it's 1,000 degrees below zero, and it's two big bodybuilding Africans that look nowhere near like they're white at all.
I got to agree with you. That's a much better scenario. But going on to the government scam of college loans.
Yes.
They made it so easy to get college loans for these 18-year-old kids, and they get them to, like you said, the amenities, the swimming pools, the areas, the hot chicks, the dormitories, all this stuff. And then the colleges pile on these mandatory gender studies or women's studies or other useless courses that the college professors are making six figures a year. And now you got the Chinese in there with their Confucius Institutes, which are nothing more than spy indoctrination centers for communism. So that's why we got all these little, Stalin wannabes running around. And they never read a book about Karl Marx to find out what a piece of fecal matter he was in real life. I mean, he's a real dirtbag. He was a trust fund baby who threw a fit when his mom cut him off,
Right.
Which, is pretty much like all little Antifas running around. Bunch of little mad at the world, basement dwelling, their PS5 broke or something. I don't know, but, but it makes perfect sense that that's what the government wants, because they're trying to swing us towards communism. And these people have no clue. There's only three types of people that want to be a communist. And that's it. You got the evil. They want to run the show. They want to call the shots. They're in charge. We're going to do as I say. You're going to be in the gulag or dead.
That's right.
You got the terminally stupid who read the brochure but didn't bother to read the book. They read the cover and they said, oh, man, that's a great deal. And then you got the terminally lazy that heard everything's going to be free. Well, misery happens to be free.
That's right.
They've never cracked open a history book, and there's so many kids. When I see a young brother, I get talking to him because I like people, and I'll say, "You ever hear of Thomas Sowell?" And they go, "No, I haven't." I said, "Well, I'm not surprised. Let me tell you something. That man spent more time in college than any other human on this earth. He was a college professor." I said, "You need to check him out. He's written over 26, 28 something books."
But see, when they're in that,
91 years.
When they're in college like that, they kind of get insulated. It's like an ivory tower. They don't really know too much about what's going on beyond what they're supposed to know from their point of view.
From what they're told to know.
That's right.
They don't know anything else because their professors don't enhance education, how to learn. This is what you need to know. That's what they tell them. You need to be a good little stormtrooper.
Exactly.
For our union. But I wanted to know. I was going to tell a joke, but I didn't tell it. Because let's say there's this black fella named Bob at work, right? And one day he's not there, and there's a white guy sitting at his desk, and I come walking in, and I looked at him, and I said, "Hey, Bob, are you feeling okay? You're looking kind of pale." I don't know.
I need my sound effect. I can't find it, but I need a sound effect for that one.
Okay, but I just started laughing. I did, just the guy never missed his work. I just didn't expect to see somebody else sitting in his chair. Anyhow, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. And January, I'm going to announce my bid to run for Congress for the state of Connecticut. I'm going to tell them, look, you ain't got to go to Florida. Just put me in Washington.
Oh, there you go. Sounds good to me. All right.
I got to give them ladies that are them little firecrackers that are giving Nazi Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, hell. I got to give them some support. I got to get up there. To the listeners, if you want to find out how critical theory was used by Mao Zedong to divide the Chinese people into 50 different ethnic groups or classes of oppressed and oppressor, go on YouTube, NTD. It's a 9-part series. It's well worth the watch. I encourage you to watch at least some of it, because that's what they want to do with this critical racist training. It just ain't right, and it's un-American. And God bless you, ABL. Love you. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. America's behind you.
Thanks for the call, man.
Love
Definitely appreciate you.
You take care.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Shout out to all the dad jokes out there. It's good money. All right. Let's get to a few more here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. And let's do 315 on the line. Who am I speaking to? 315, hello.
Oh, hi, AB. I'm shocked I got through. It's so good to talk to you.
All right.
I'm from New York, and my daughter sent me this text. I'd like to read it to you if I could.
All right.
It's a list of, it says on January 5th, the legislative session begins. Here's a snapshot of just a few of the bills that are looking to be passed in New York State. Assembly Bill A8378, forced COVID shot mandates to attend school. Another bill, I'll read the numbers if you want me to, but forces all adult vaccine records into a state database. And another one, forced COVID shots for college, forced flu shots to attend school and preschool daycare, eliminates religious exemptions for work and college, eliminates parents' consent to shots when a child reaches the age of 14, eliminates parents' rights to consent to STD shots for children of any age. And the last one is allows the governor to imprison without trial anyone she considers a threat to public health.
Now, are these bills that they're trying to get passed?
Yeah, it says on January 5th. And then there's one that Patrick Burke, who's in Buffalo, his upcoming bill is to eliminate unvaccinated people's access to health insurance.
Wow. That's crazy. I mean, at a certain point, these bills, they sound unconstitutional. They're not really going to be, like, they sound illegal. Like, you can't even do that. You can't imprison someone without due process, from what I know. You got to have due process. You can't just say, okay, go to jail. That's called a gulag. So you can't do that in the United States. So I think they won't really go anywhere, but that's my hope. And that's in New York State, right?
Right, and it starts on January 5th.
That's an interesting day.
And she just incorporated a mask mandate on Monday. So we're now back to mask mandates for any place in public.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all to do this. And I hope that these bills don't pass because they're very illegal, 100% illegal.
Well, that one you were concerned about with the no due process is Bill A as in Apple 4186 or 416.
Okay.
If you want to look any of them up, but maybe I'll find a way to email this to you so you have it in the future. But it was really great to get through. I've been trying for like a year.
Well, I'm glad you got through for sure.
But yeah, unfortunately, I'm in New York, and this Kathy woman is not really much better than, it may even be worse than Cuomo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I think that might not be too surprising because she was just put in there because he got, taken out. So hopefully you guys are able to get someone else in there that can do a better job than she does.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, my area was all red. The area that I live in was all red. But I don't know.
All right.
So, well, thank you for all you do, AB. You're a wonderful human being. God bless you.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right. The phone calls are coming in pretty fast and furious. You guys on the drill. The number to call 434-658-1220. 201. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Sarah. I'm from New Jersey. I'm calling just to let you know that when you were talking about the COVID shots, the Vax cards, certain places around Jersey make you sign up for a certain app. I don't have it because I don't have I didn't follow the whole protocol. But if you don't show the app on your phone, they don't care if you have the card or not because they don't believe the cards anymore. And then as far as everything that's going on in New York, I think we're all still just up in arms because it's the Fifth Circuit, I think, kind of put an injunction and they're still going off of, I guess, I don't even know what science they may or may not be following. But the other speaker did make a good suggestion about the R word. We need to go back to actually just labeling these individuals because they're not of sound mind and body and they're actually governing us at the same time. But I just wanted to say hello, and that's pretty much it. That I like listening to your show.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You know what? I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about the whole thing with the apps because I've seen the apps. You know, you got to have the Vax apps. I heard about that already. So I was thinking, okay, are they going to start doing that rather than the cards? That's crazy. You got to pull out your phone and you got to get scanned. And the next thing, they put that thing right in your forehead or in your palm of your hand, and you get scanned like a head of cabbage. That's pretty much where they want to go. And I refuse. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it at all, period. All right, let's go to the next one. 786, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
I'm well. About yourself?
Not too bad. I am AMROX in the super chat. And just sort of called out a couple of things. One thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you saw the story, don't mean to get too off topic, about Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal. He was recently at the birthday anniversary, the 102nd birthday anniversary for the Communist Party of Connecticut, giving out awards. And what it sounded like from the articles I read, he was almost like saying, "Hey, we know what you're kind of saying for, but we Democrats too are supporting things like $15 minimum wage, Green New Deal, et cetera, something along those lines."
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, but that's no surprise because that kind of confirms what I've been saying for a long time about these people, about how they are just communists. All these people talking about 5 for 15 and higher minimum wage and all this, pay their fair share. It's just communism. Yeah. That's what it boils down to. They're going to try to make it be soft. They're going to try to say
it looks like he's removed a lot of the doubt about that.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much out in the open now.
Yeah, and of course that leads to the student loans. The thing that gets me about him is basically what really upsets me about is that you got people with the mindset they take out these loans, they can't pay them back, and it's like the responsibility of everyone else in society to kind of remove the consequences of their bad decisions, bad choices. It's the same thing that justifies the low bail for criminals. The idea that, we have to protect people from the consequences of their actions. It's everyone else's responsibility for this. And if we don't protect, certain people because of their actions, from the consequences of their actions, that's what it seems like oppression is anymore.
Right. Exactly.
But I just wanted to, I was thinking about recently, people were asking where Kamala Harris has been. Well, I think I know where she's been. She said she's been too busy. She's been redecorating her office and also too trying to figure out how to charge an electric car.
Yeah, I saw that little clip. That was hilarious. It's like,
taking out the car. Of course, what she says, well, it doesn't sound like gasoline going across your face. It says, how do I know it's working?
Oh boy, this
really,
this crazy.
Yeah, and of course, too, Jussie Smollett. I'm just disappointed it wasn't televised. I think that would be a funnier courtroom program than the sitcom Night Court ever was.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I got to say, yeah. Oh well, I can talk about a lot of other things, cause a lot of other laughs, but I know you got 10,001 callers waiting behind me, so I'm gonna have to let you go. And thanks for making my night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, take care.
All right, shout out to the caller. And here's that Kamala Harris clip he was talking about. I did see that, but I kind of had went past it. So let's put this on the screen right quick. And the caption from disclosed.tv says, new, Kamala Harris wonders how the electric car charges because there's no guzzling sound or fume when plugged in. All right, let's roll it.
See, it's plugged in, so is it plugged into just a normal electric socket, right?
Yes, normally it's a 240 volt, but you can go ahead and plug in, and
okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we are.
That's it.
And there's no sound or fume.
There is nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's
so
all there
for
is
all
to
of
it.
us who are used to
every morning
filling our tank, you usually can smell it and you can hear it. You can hear the guzzling sound.
Right.
None of that.
None of
so
that.
how do I know it's actually working?
It is. So typically, once you
the lights over here might tell you something. I don't know. I mean, like, what is this? Is this like her just trying to promote the car, or what? Because that's it's just so cringe. If you've not cringed today, well, hey, congratulations, you've cringed right here on the show.
You wave that card, it's actually charging. So
but how would I know that? Tell me how I would know that.
So typically, excuse me.
Yeah.
So typically, you come in, you wave this card,
yeah.
And then what it would do is it would authenticate, and then the light turns green.
See, it's plugged in.
I mean, I've never done that before in my life, charged the car, but I just kind of put two and two together. I don't know. Like, maybe she's just trying to promote it, or she just didn't know. But that's kind of a moronic thing to ask. If you legitimately don't know what's going on there, you're just a few fries short of a happy meal, a few trees short of a forest, a few trombones short of an entire orchestra or marching band. But I'll move on. Number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's get back rocking and rolling. Let's go to 219. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, 219. Hello?
Is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I wrote notes down this time because the first time I called you, I was really nervous and talked kind of crazy.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm just very upset that the Biden let me compose myself. That I am so sick of the Democrats saying that they understand what us average Americans go through. I'm so pissed off at The View, and who isn't? But there is nobody on that panel that understands us women that struggle every day. Right now, I work at a hotel, which is very generous to me because my car broke down. And I have a little ass Sonic that I used to power up, gas up. $20. I had to travel 40 miles all day. No big deal. The last time I fueled it up, it was $40 for a Sonic.
Wow.
Pissed me off. And then the transmission went out. I'm a woman. I became a single woman for the past 7 years. And in total, I have 11 kids. First part of my life, for my 6 kids, I had no help. For my 5 kids that came after my second, okay, he was there, but after he wasn't. And that pisses me off because I lived a better life before Biden was here. And I don't think people understand the average life of us people that are struggling. I live in Indiana. I'm in the Midwest. When people talk about the Midwest, they talk about Minneapolis, Ohio, all other places. Some places in Indiana suck. Because my kids get their dad's Social Security, and there's only 3 of them. Our rent is $700. NIPSCO jumped from $50 to $200. And then I don't have a car, so I have to stay in the hotel that I'm at so I can make my money and then provide all the food and everything else that my kids need.
Do you have young children or older children? How old are your kids?
My youngest kids that are still in the house are teenagers. And
Okay.
ABL, I don't think you have teenagers, but teenagers are expensive. I wish they were all little kids.
How about your adult
I go to
children?
the-
How about your adult
Huh?
children? How about your adult children? Do they help out?
Well, they help out, but you know what I am? I'm a mom that said you can do yourself. And they have their own house and they're trying to make their own life. They do help me. God bless them, because if I didn't have them, I couldn't have got out of this place. Because the first time I was here was because my house had an electrical fire.
Right, I got you.
And the landlords here don't say nothing, you know. They don't help. We had to help ourselves, as always. It just makes me so mad that the administration right now, they're looking at us and they say, oh, we're helping you. You're not helping me.
Well, caller.
Nobody's helping.
Well, is there
I
any?
help
Are
myself.
there any churches or anything nearby that could potentially help out to get things back rolling? Because the government, they're not going to do right. They're helping the illegal aliens or whatnot. So, are there any churches or nonprofits around you that could help?
I imagine they'll help the illegal aliens, but I'm not an illegal alien. And they said since my kids get Social Security, they make too much money.
Ah, okay. Well,
And
caller.
the problem is, since my car broke down, I have to stay in the hotel so my kids go to school. They have to stay here.
Right.
So I pay for my kids.
Well,
my
caller.
transmission is
I got you,
$2,500.
caller. I got you, caller. But I'm sorry, I need to move on a little bit. But hopefully everything gets back. And I understand what's going on. It could be rough, and people in the federal government need to focus more on people that have legitimate concerns like yourself, rather than people that don't, and illegal aliens, things of that nature. But thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Please pray for me and my family.
Got you.
I thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah. 11 kids. Wow. I mean, that's something right there. You're a trooper for that one. So shout out to you. Hey, if you can have 11 kids, you strong. So you be all right. You'll be able to get through it for sure. All right. Let's get to some more here. The number to call 434-658-1220. 478, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 478, hello. Going once, going twice. All right. Hopefully my mic is not messing up. I don't think it is. Let me make sure everything's good. Yeah, my mic is fine. So if you call into the show, please be ready to talk on the phone, because you're not going to be able to sync to the stream. There is a delay. So please be ready by the phone, and we'll get rock and rolling that way. All righty. Let's go to the next. 559, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 559, hello. Yes.
Oh, ABL, what's going on, man? It's Pat from California. How's it going?
Oh, it's all good, man. What's going on?
Oh, good, man. Hey, real quick, everybody that's in the Midwest or in the South who is in the affected states with those tornado warnings and those severe wind bursts of 100 miles per hour, don't play around. Be in your shelter, be in your storm shelters, take cover. Don't think that this is going to be something to mess with. There's tornadoes that's already on the ground that is affecting those areas, so you need to be taking cover immediately.
So wait. Hold on. Where's it again? One more time.
So there's a tornado warning on the border of Oklahoma. There's 13 counties affected, Iowa, Minnesota. There's also severe storms that's happening right now, 24 inches of snow. That's a total blizzard whiteout in California. On the West Coast, you should not be driving at all in the Sierra Nevadas at this point. If you are having a vehicle if you're in a vehicle that is a front-wheel drive or doesn't have four-wheel drive without studded tires or chains, I mean, don't risk it because you're going to get stuck and be totally buried. And once that happens, CHP, they're closing down the freeways, the interstates, so there will be nobody that will come to pull you out, and you'll be screwed. So use common sense. Everybody, please be safe during this time. I'm praying, and I just want to shout out to everybody that's going to be, affected by these storms, and pray for them. And please, if you have family members who are in these areas, contact them, make sure they're okay. And that's all I just wanted to say. Thank you so much for the show and allowing me to call and get that out there to you. And everybody have a great night and stay safe.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, California's crazy right now. I heard about the torrential downpour. Did you guys talk about Flavor Flav? Flavor Flav, he was driving from Vegas back to California, if I'm not mistaken, and his car got hit by a boulder because it was so much rain. The rocks are loose over there, and a boulder came off the mountain and hit his car on the side. It was crazy. Matter of fact, hold on, let me see if I can find the actual picture. Now, luckily, he was fine. He was fine. He was able to swerve to the other side and avoid a collision with the oncoming traffic, and he was totally fine. I think a Good Samaritan pulled over and helped him out. So yeah, he's okay. But yeah, that rain is crazy over there on left coast California. So here's the damage right there. Look at that. A boulder. Imagine that. It's crazy. So he's fine. You see him right there in the top taking the picture of the damage. But his whole front passenger side, like the Defender, the hood's messed up. The hood's messed up. The headlights messed up. But luckily he's fine. He's totally fine. So shout out Flavor Flav. But yeah, now he's not dead. He's not dead. He's totally fine. He just had an accident because a boulder hit his car. Now, he could have died because if that boulder landed on him, it's a wrap because ain't too much you can do. I remember in West Virginia, there was a boulder on the interstate one time. The boulder was the size of the whole road. If your car would have been under that, it would have been a wrap. I was kind of nervous riding in West Virginia because it have these signs that would say falling rock. And the mountain be super high above you, and you like, man, if that rock fall down, it's a wrap. It's a total wrap. But let's move on to some more calls. Let's go to, all right, 478, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Oh, 478 hung up. Okay, let's try one more time. 478, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 478, hello. If you're talking, I can't hear you. All right, I don't know what's going on, 478. You got to tighten up your Obama phone, put some more minutes on it. Get it together, boss. Let's go to 970. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hello. My name is, I probably shouldn't give names over the phone. But, hi. It's good to be on the show.
All righty, man. Well, glad you're here. So what's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, I live in Colorado right now, and I guess I'm just sort of dropping in to say what I've noticed over the time since Biden's become president. I've noticed, and I know Colorado's a pretty deep blue state and everything, but I've started to notice a lot of pushback from the citizens here. A lot of them are not taking well to what Biden's, been doing, especially our local government people. I've noticed like elderly people, just not wearing their masks, and they're like in defiance. And I think that's a great thing. I mean, of course, it's probably not good for their health, but I think at some point people will have a breaking point,
Yeah.
And have you seen that in where you've been?
Yeah, where I live, people are not doing the mask thing too much. I mean, some of the old people and Frady cats, they're wearing it. Or if you work at a place, you probably have a mask on, maybe. But for the most part, people are not doing it. Some
businesses are just not even enforcing it. Even corporation ones. I mean, depending on the manager and everything, some of them are like they see customers and they kind of just envy the customers walking in maskless. They barely anyone has said anything. People just go from business to business, and I'm starting to notice more and more over time that more people are just not wearing it anymore. They're just starting to get fed up. I mean, Biden has really screwed everything up. I mean, I used to be far left a long time ago, before 2016, and then when 2016 came around, I kind of was able to start doing my own research. And I mean, I voted for Trump in 2016, but I mean, I definitely just didn't want to have another shill in the White House who would screw us over, and that's exactly what Biden is. I mean, anybody who was paying attention could see it. So, it's I don't know. I'm just jumping all over the place, but I guess really I just called in to say, giving a report on what's going on in Colorado. People are starting to, I think the culture war here is kind of starting to change a bit. I mean, I'm not saying, anybody who's a Republican should try and run for office. I mean, I think it would be a good idea, but it would definitely tell what the public is thinking.
I think overall,
what's your opinion on that?
I think overall there's a greater lean toward the right, even if it doesn't really change the place completely red. You understand? Like, for example, like let's say for a place like, I don't know, Denver, let's say the election went 70-30 Democrat Republican. Well, now it might go 60-40. It's still majority Democrat, but less so, because people are starting to get upset at what the Democratic Party are doing as far as removing their personal freedoms from them.
I mean, I was thinking, probably not this election with, the Senate in 2022. I don't think anybody should try and really, run. I mean, I think it would be a great, what happened in Virginia. It would definitely tell where the country is headed and everything. And I think it would definitely be a good indicator for people, anybody who's Republican or people who are questioning the Democratic Party. I think it would be a good idea for somebody to run just to test the waters to see if, there is pushback. People are starting to get fed up. And those numbers definitely could, like for 2024, if any new seats open up, it would definitely, people be more emboldened to vote, Republican this time than, or anybody who's qualified who would do the right thing. I'm quite kind of neutral in some senses. If the person really represents the people and actually has common sense that people want, I think they should be elected. But I'm seeing less. I don't see any common sense coming from the Democratic Party at all. So
not at all.
Yep, not at all. Well, I guess that's all I had to say. But hey, thanks for taking my call, man. I'm quite happy to actually finally talk to you over the phone. You're a really great guy, so and I definitely like all of your takes. You're a very smart man.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, no problem. All right, see you later, buddy. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Good call. All right, now shout out to Jericho Green. I saw a super chat earlier. He says, "Are there any perks of being an American citizen anymore?" Well, I tell you what, living here is always a good perk, but if you're talking about being an American citizen versus an illegal alien, well, it's few and far in between. Especially if you live in a blue state. If you're illegal, if you have like a super pass, do whatever you want to do. If you are here illegally, you can do whatever. It's fine. Okay, in-state tuition, no taxes, not for the most part. You good. You can do whatever you want as an illegal alien, depending upon where you live. Now, if you live in certain places, you're going right back. You're going back. You're not going to be able to get in. period. Okay. You might pick some fruit, but that's about it. But I digress. Hey, I'm not racist for saying that because Barack Obama said fruit pickers and bed makers, didn't he? He was talking about immigrants, not even necessarily illegal immigrants. He's talking about immigrants, period. You could come over here to be a doctor. He said that you are a fruit picker or a bed maker. But I'll move on. Then there's also this clip right here from Joe Biden that just came out. This is rich. I may do a full video on this tomorrow, perhaps, if it's what I think it is. I just saw it just now on my Twitter. Let me put it right here. Shout out to you, Smith. On Twitter, me_think_free. And the caption says, Joe Biden, it's him saying it. What if it's the vaccinated that are unfortunately spreading the virus? What's the big deal? Okay, let's see if he says that.
And so everybody talks about freedom and not to have a shot or have a test. Well, guess what? So how about patriotism? How about making sure that you're vaccinated so you do not spread the disease to anybody else? What about that? What's the big deal? And so
okay, yeah. So basically, he didn't say that, but I guess that was a caption. I guess that was the question. Let's hear it one more time just to make sure I heard what I thought I heard.
Everybody talks about freedom and not to have a shot or have a test. Well, guess what? So how about patriotism? How about making sure that you're vaccinated so you do not spread the disease to anybody else? What about that? What's the big deal?
But see, this is why people think that if you have the vax, you can't spread it. This is why. This is him right now. Today, Wednesday, December the 15th, 2021, he says that if you have it, you can't spread it. Meanwhile, his CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, says you can and you will. She said the vax cannot stop transmission. That means catching and spreading. That's what she said. But he's saying something different. Obviously, he's wrong when he says it. You see, and regular normies listen to him talk. And, you know, the craziest part was at the beginning. He's talking about all freedom, all that kind of stuff. What's freedom, man? Forget freedom. Like, that ain't really no big deal. Freedom, what you need freedom for? Okay, you got a freedom car wash. You need no freedom for your actual self, no personal freedom. Okay, you got the freedom to go to the CVS and get that shot for the bug. It's crazy. How can a guy like that have any kind of support from people, regardless of what you identify as politically? You could be left, right, agnostic politically. How can you support a guy that says freedom ain't no real big deal? It's crazy. All right, let's get to some more. Let's go to 909. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hi. My name is Ashley.
All righty. What's going on?
Oh my goodness, I can't believe I actually got you. So I'm from California, from Orange County. And I just wanted to comment about the issues that are happening with student loans. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm not a Democrat anymore. I voted Democrat from the age of 18 all the way through Obama. The first Republican I actually voted for was Trump. And I actually kind of was sketchy about voting for Trump, but I had a lot of student loans, and I received a letter in the mail from the Obama administration telling me that I was having to forcibly put all of my private student loans to federal student loans. My private loans were at about 2% deferred from the oldest to newest. Once I paid off the oldest, then the next oldest would come, and I'd have to start paying that. And to consolidate all the loans, I would have to pay 6.5% interest. Now, this was 10 years now, and I still owe $17,000. So, yeah, I'm a Republican now.
Yeah. That'll do
from
it.
That. It sure did do it for me. And so when Biden and the Democrats come out and say they're going to pay for something, it's always a lie to all of us. It's pretty much just stating that they're going to lie to the American public to try to receive the votes, and then they're not actually going to come through, but yet spend our money on all these non-essential things that actually don't help the working class. And that's kind of what I've seen with the Biden administration so far. Living here, there's about 75,000 homeless people. And yeah, they might build the tiny homes, but they cost about 5 times more than what would cost a normal individual to buy a tiny home because they're government contracted. And so it just increases the homelessness. It increases, like you said, the people that come here. And even the bridge of where I live in Orange County, there was a judge who took all the homeless people out because people wanted to ride their bikes there. They gave them 2 months of a stipend for a hotel room. And where did they go? Now they're all on the streets. They're doing drugs, around all of the other people that just want to live their lives without having to see it. And it just creates more and more issues that are happening. And it's because we live in a Democratic state. And I can't leave. I love my job. I'm a single woman, but watching this stuff is just horrific. And I'm trying to move to Florida or Texas or Arizona within the next few years. And financially, I'm really trying to put that together so that I can get out of here. But, Republicans leaving California also hurts the state by us not voting for things. But at the end of the day, I think that we all just need to get out of here and leave all of the Democrats to just dispose of themselves and hopefully have a wake-up call.
Right on. Absolutely.
But I love your show. I heard about you through Officer Tatum, and shout out to everybody that watches your show. We need to get you to 1 million. You're amazing, and I hope you keep doing what you do. And thank you so much for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Great call. Absolutely. Yeah. The homeless problem is drugs, really. Like the people that are homeless that are not on drugs, you really don't see them too much. They don't really want to be visible like that. They're not going to be on the street just in filth. That's not the people that are just having a bad time. They're not the people that are hard on their luck. You don't see them at all. They kind of just be somewhere else. But those who are right there on the street, that's your prolific dope fiends. That's facts. All right, you're on the line with speaker 2757.
757.
Yes, indeed. Who am I speaking to?
Glenn.
All right, turn the stream down for me in the background, please.
Oh, my bad. Am I on?
You live.
Oh, ABL, what's up, my man?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
I've been trying to get a hold of you so long. I don't even know what to say right now.
Well,
how are you, my friend?
I'm great, man. I see you calling from a Virginia number. Are you out there in the area?
I am. I'm a little farther east than Virginia Beach.
Okay.
On the eastern shore of Virginia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Familiar with it. Absolutely. You crossing the Bay Bridge Tunnel?
That's exactly right. Yeah. It used to be the longest bridge tunnel in the world, if I remember correctly, but
yeah, I've not been on it myself. I was kind of scared because I heard about the wind on it and it'll kind of blow trucks over. And once you get to the end of it, like once you get to the eastern shore, you got water splashed on you before you go to the tunnel. I'm like, it's kind of scary, but hey, it's all good.
Oh, it absolutely. It can be a little frightening, but it is one of the most amazing things you'll ever see.
Oh, definitely.
Listen, I guess what's on my mind right now, I'm sure you're familiar with Colion Noir, Second Amendment advocate.
Yes.
I was just watching something from him a few minutes ago, and he was, I don't know, he put out basically an audio podcast of a gentleman, and I don't remember his name specifically, but he is well, I don't know how else to put it, but he's a well-known blood gang member.
Yeah.
And Anyway, he has announced that he is leaving California. The past caller was speaking of California issues, and it just, I don't know, it kept it to mind. And he said he's done. He is leaving California. He said that even under the, I don't know, blood law, I suppose, things are just completely out of control. There is no longer any type of rule whatsoever. And I don't know, I found that amazing.
Yeah, so I see this right now. He's talking about Watt 100. Yeah, he's pretty popular. He's like a rapper manager, and also in the blood
exactly.
game. Yeah. Now the thing about it, it's a lot of stuff going on. This killed that guy, Slip 400. He just got killed out there in Inglewood, and he's from Inglewood. So you got this beef going on between Rolling 60s and the Inglewood families, two gangs out there in LA. And it's very dangerous out there. Just from that gang beef is very dangerous, but also you got other stuff going on. You got people being home invaded in really nice areas up in the hills. It's just too much happening. So, yeah, if he says he wants to leave California, I wouldn't blame him at all. Gang member or not, it's just too dangerous for anybody out there at this current point in time.
Completely agree. I mean, but that really makes you think when, people that are used to, some sort of violence and some sort of, I don't know, stress in the streets, that are saying, okay, look, this is too much. Things are out of control. Then why don't more people see that issue and, stand up and say, hey, this is enough.
Right. Yeah. I mean, people sometimes they don't really want to rock the boat. They don't want to say anything that's politically incorrect. Although they should, if it's reality, then it's reality. Just tell the truth. Shame the devil.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, I don't understand why more people aren't seeing.
Right.
It's frustrating, I suppose. And in a way, I feel sorrow for, the people in the wake of all of this. Out here, you say you have a pretty good idea where I'm at, and I don't have quite as many issues as, people that are facing that right now. So, but at the same time, I'm scared for myself, for my family, that when is that going to come here to, my area of Virginia?
Well,
it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. I've seen crazier things, but I just, I think the main thing would be the local states need to just have a stranglehold on the crime. Don't let it get out of control, because once you let it get out of control, it's hard to get it back under control.
Very true. Very, very true words. Absolutely. I mean, hopefully, we just voted in a Republican governor, and he'll be taking control come this January. So I don't know. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we won't go down that path. But that's all I can do is hope.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, ABL. It's so good talking to you.
All right. Likewise. All right. Shout out to the caller coming from Eastern Shore, Virginia. Got to cross that crazy tunnel, man. I ain't going to be able to, I'm going to have to go up and through Maryland to get to you. All right. Let's go to some more here. Let's go to. All right. Hold on. I got these calls are coming in so quick. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go. 931, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 93. Yes, hello.
Hey, this is ABL?
Yes, it is.
Hey, man, I found you online a few months ago, and I just I would pay attention to what you're talking about, and I really love how you interact with your callers. But my name's Brandon, and I got 2 Bronze Stars in combat, so I go by 2 Bronze Star Brandon. All right, man? All
righty. Sounds good to me.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I retired from the military in 2015. My biggest issue, and I think it should be every American's issue, is this total ridiculous divide over the pieces of the Lego blocks that we build something together, if that makes sense. And I'm not talking about color or anything like that. I'm just saying in general, it's like for some reason, a lot of Americans are just dumb. I hate to say it that way.
Yeah.
You know, and they're hell-bent on they want it their way. Like how back in the day growing up in the South, where I'm from, obviously you can tell by my accent, it was like if, you know, Ford was found on road, race day, dead, or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, there was acronyms for like, all of the cars, like Chevrolet, Pontiac, or whatever, meaning just people threw shots at what type of vehicle you drove, right?
Right.
Now it's like people throw shots just because of whatever. And what we're not doing as Americans, ABL, is it's like we're the Yankees and the Red Sox. And the Red Sox won't give any recognition to the Yankees for their success, and the Yankees won't never give their recognition to the Red Sox. And there's a lot of good recognitions on both sides that we refuse to believe because we're hell-bent on our ideologies. And that's what's very sad for a man who did 20 years in the game in the Army, retired 2015, got 4 fucking tours. I'm sorry. I know you don't do cussing. I do apologize. But, you know, it's just sad that we're at that level. So we're just nitpicking at each other. You know, we're like kids at the bus stop picking on the kid with the cheap shoes or the snotty nose or the preps, you know, and it's just sad, man. You know, and I'd like to show like you do a lot, like you're fair, bro, across the board, hands down. I've watched you like for the past couple of weeks, and I've paid attention for the past couple of months. I really think you're fair, but it's just this nitpicking that I really wish that people like I don't know if you really talk about it on your platform, but I wish everybody else would talk about it, because it's not like we're saying we hate our neighbors, but there's neighbors who don't speak because of when they're cutting their grass or raking their leaves, what news channel they're watching, right? And we shouldn't be that way at the end of the day, my brother. You feel me?
I got you.
All right, man. Thanks, man.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. All right, good call. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, I think that people need to just understand kind of what's going on. In my opinion, this may sound biased, but I don't think it is. But I think people on the right are generally more open than those on the left. Generally, not all, but generally. Especially when you get more toward the center. I think once you are on the center and you kind of left, you become more open when you become center on the right. But open to hearing, how can I say, open not in the way to where you want to change your ideology, but open to hearing someone else out. And not just instantly discarding them away. I hear you out. I don't got to agree with you, but I hear you out. It's fine. It's no problem. That's kind of what I'm on at the moment. All right, let's go. 615, if you're on the line, who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Boom, Boom, Boom. How you doing?
Oh, it's all good, man. What's going on?
Oh, man, dude. I sent you a link earlier in your Twitter feed. And it's did you see the video with Sloppy Joe, Creepy Joe Biden, where he went to Kentucky for the tornado relief and stuff? Did you see that earlier?
I saw one video, but I'm not sure it's the same one you're talking about. What was the video that you're speaking of? Like, what was he doing?
Man, he had this dude. He had this little 12-year-old girl. And the way he was, did you see it before I get going? Did you see it?
I see it right now. I see it right here. I'm going to put it on the screen while you're talking.
Dude, yeah, put it on the screen for everybody to see. He's looking at this kid, man. And I'm telling y'all, I'm talking to the chat, I'm talking to everybody online. When he's looking at this kid, it makes you feel like weird inside. Like the look on your face is like, oh, like your face is going to snarl up when you watch this video. Because he is, dude, he's sitting there creeping on the kid. He's like, oh, he's looking at the cameraman talking about, oh, she's 12 years old, man. She's 12 years old. And she's holding a flag. And I think he said something like, she's a little patriot. She's 12 years old. And it's like he's slobbing on himself. Here we go. Play it, man. I'll shut up. You want to play it while we're on the phone?
Nah, it's only a screenshot. I don't have the actual video right now. That's only a screenshot of the video. But
okay.
I ain't gonna play it because we kind of get the picture on I don't even want to. I just feel gross. Like, you ever feel just gross? It's like, I need to shower right now to get that.
Yes.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
So my brother sent me the video, and man, as soon as he always like gets me all like get ready for the videos that I'm gonna send you of the day, whatever I'm missing, because I'm always working and he's always doing his little research, and he'll send me whatever he sees that he knows I'm missing out on. And when I seen this video, man, it's exactly what you just said. Man, I just wanted to scrub myself. It's so bad. It's so cringe. And you're just like, it's creepy, man. So if y'all can find it, whoever's out there listening, if y'all can find it, just find it and watch it, because it is bad, man. It's bad. And the girl, it's kind of sad because the little girl is just like staring into the camera like, wow, I'm on camera standing next to the president of the United States. She has no idea what's going on, but I'm here to tell you, man, in the future, this little girl's going to look back on this video, man, and she's going to be like, oh, my God, because it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel what I'm saying?
100%.
Oh, it's horrible. So that's one. The second thing, and I'm going to let you go after this one. The second thing I got to get at you with is, man, okay, so I hadn't been able to like, I've been watching all your streams like a day or two later because I've been super duper busy, so I've been following all the streams a day later. So I watched the show last week, man. You always be tearing up your boy Sean King, man. Why do you not? I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious, man. Why do you not think that dude ain't black? You don't think he has not one bit of black in him at all?
Come on,
Sean King.
Come on, let's stop. Like even when I was on the left, even when I was on his side, I didn't think he was black. I'm like, okay, you got a white ally, a white friend. He's obviously white. It's like, all right, if he is black, then so is Joe Biden. How about that, Joe Biden? Matter of fact, how about the dude that played Thor in the X-Men movies? He's black too. This dude is white as snow. I'm talking about straight from Ireland. If he's to go to Ireland right now, he blend in. That's Colin McGregor's stepbrother right there. I mean, this dude is white.
No, wait, for real. You got me rolling. So, is there any pictures anywhere of his mom and daddy? Have you ever seen? I don't know. Do you have any pictures?
Yeah, his pictures. He has siblings too, and they look just like him, and they white. But they got like the white guy. They got kind of like the beard, like like you in Ireland somewhere. Like he'd be a potato farmer.
To me, I'm being dead serious, man. I'm trying. You got me laughing. I'm trying not to laugh, but my wife is mixed, so I know mixed people. Her whole family's mixed, so I'm just like, I can tell that the dude is mixed with something.
No,
I don't know what it is.
Look,
we
listen.
call it high yellow. I don't know if it's high yellow, whatever it is.
Listen.
But he's got the hair. Look at his hair. He's got the hair.
Sir.
He's trying with the mustache.
he's trying
to be like a fake. He looks like almost like a T.I. He's almost there. He's trying. He's like almost there.
T.I. was his model, but it just didn't. It didn't really go all the way. I just, if you got some kind of melanin treatment, a little nose enhancement or something like that, maybe. I know people that are mixed. I got mixed nieces. I got people in my family that I know right now that are mixed, black and white. But they don't look like that. I can tell they're still black. This guy is white. And it's okay. You know what? I want to tell Sean King? It's okay to be white. It's okay. Don't deny yourself who you are. It's all right, man. Ain't nobody going to judge you because you white. It's all right. It's okay, man. Just be white.
But he don't want to be that.
Nah, he don't want to do that.
He getting money, though.
You getting money.
All right, man. All right, I'll stop messing with you, man. I just had to say that it's been killing me for months. I've been listening to you kill this. You've been tearing this dude up for like weeks and months, talking about how white Sean King is, and it's been killing me. I had to call you, man. So, man, I appreciate you taking the phone call, dude. Have a good night, man. Merry Christmas, too, by the way.
Thanks to you, man. Merry Christmas. Thank you for the call.
All right, man. Peace out. Bye.
Yeah, so here's a meme if you haven't seen it, just for that particular call. All right. So this is my favorite. It's one of my top 10 memes of all time. The caption, if you guys can't see it, the caption says, "When you stir the nest quick." On the left, you have Sean King. On the right, you have T.I. Do you see what he was trying to do with the T.I. impersonation? He got the glasses and the same head tilt and the little goatee with the little baby mustache and the soul patch. He's trying to do the T.I. impersonation. But, sir, it's okay to be white, man. Like, why? When I first heard people thought that he was black, I'm like, nah, really? Sean King, this guy? Why would you think that? I don't understand. I don't get it. I mean, there's plenty of white guys that do like this social activism and speaking out for black people, like Tim Wise. He makes a whole career off of being a white guy that's a black ally, and that's okay. That's totally fine. I had no problem with it when I was on the left. I wasn't tripping. I was like, yeah, he's a white ally. It's cool. But he's not black, though. I mean, let's stop. All right, let's go to 207. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Bernard.
All righty. Turn the stream down for me in the background, please.
Yeah, I'm turning it off. Plus, there was a little bit of lag.
Oh, it's all good. But what's going on?
Hey, this is Bernard. I live up here in Maine.
All righty. So what's happening?
So I was seeing a video. I'm not sure if you guys... Oh, sorry about that. My computer's freaking out. Hold on. Let me pause some shit.
Hold on. Wait. No cursing.
Okay, yes, sir. So I was just reporting in. I'm not sure if you guys really talked about Kentucky and Biden coming into town. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I have heard about it.
Well, I was watching a YouTuber by the name of the guitarologist, which is hard to pronounce, first of all. First of all, chat, give me a MAGA 2024. So anyways, he was talking to his friend in Kentucky, and there's a lot of people there that weren't allowed to go to their homes, put tarps over the roof when there's a storm coming in tomorrow because they were getting ready for Biden.
Wow.
There was people that were dropped off near the area. They had to walk with food that was given to them from charity. They had to walk back to their home because cars were not allowed in the town in preparation for Mr. Biden.
This makes no sense. You have a disaster area. People are trying to get things together, and they're interrupting that because of Biden coming. I don't understand.
I mean, exactly. And it was heartbreaking because...
Are you on speaker?
I've been watching this YouTube for a while.
Sir, are you on speaker?
A regular guy. Oh, go ahead.
Are you on speaker?
Yeah, let me get off of that. No,
Okay.
I'm not. I was just I was rolling a cigarette.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, but it was a heart-to-heart between this guy Brad and his friend who was in the area trying to help people, and he had to drop off a bunch of people near the area because cars were not allowed in. People that trying to put tarps on the roof, trying to get back to the house, and try to get their stuff out of there. And because of Biden, they're not allowed in the area. There's people there, and this guy on the phone, he wanted to help people. He's like, what do you need? He couldn't help them.
Wow. I mean, that's nuts.
It just, you probably won't see that in the news. And it was just, I mean, I've been watching this channel for a while. It's just a regular guy that lives down there in the area.
Right.
I mean, it just shows. It's just all for photo ops, right?
100% correct. That's all it is. And it does no good. It's not helping. It really just kind of a hindrance. It's just in the way.
Totally. Hey, I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
Okay, have a good night.
All right, shout out to the caller. And thank you all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. So if you enjoy what you're hearing so far tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Rolling a cigarette, huh? I caught that too. I caught that, I catch everything. I might not say it right away, but I catch it right away, instantly. Might be a little bit delayed, but I catch it. So shout out to y'all. I got some videos here I want to show you guys. And by the way, the number to call 434-658-1220. And there's a Skype email. If you want to get in through Skype, that'd be fantastic as well. Oh, here's a picture I wanted to show. Nothing weird. But this is in Los Angeles. Now, they have the pharmacy area like taped off. Not taped off, pardon me, gated off. Because there's so much theft in this area, and you wonder why. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something about this. Like, I was in West Virginia one time at a Walmart, and I think I was in Charleston proper, not like in Corridor G or nothing like that. But anyway, I'm at the Walmart, and there were some things that I noticed. For instance, they had single roll of toilet paper, just one roll toilet paper you could buy individually. That's kind of odd. But they also, when you went to the pharmacy section, it just looked like just kind of disheveled a little bit, like it had been touched a lot. And you know what that is. You have a high drug area. People just trying to find something to try and medicate themselves, trying to get high on, or just, So there's so much theft in this particular, over-the-counter, NyQuil and stuff like that. They had to physically gate it, and you got to get a security officer to open the gate for you to be able to go into this area. It's nuts. And this is in Los Angeles, LA, California. I've never seen that before in my life. I've seen kind of rough looking pharmacy type areas, little over the counter drugs. And I ain't talking about like to the actual I ain't talking about to the actual pharmacy where the pills are at, the big pills, the heavy pills. I'm talking about just getting your NyQuil and your Tylenol, stuff like that. That's gated off. And you got to get a security guard to let you in there. Okay, that's what's happening right now in this country. And this is why people are beginning to leave California. Why wouldn't you leave? If you see something like that, why would you continue to stay in that type of environment? You want to try to be able to fix it, and that's a noble idea. It's a great idea. But what can you really do? How can you how can you really fix that? At that point, it might be a little bit too far gone. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go 541. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Jeffrey from Southern Oregon. How you doing, Bill?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Oh, doing good. I just got a quick story about, since we've been talking about college. I'm originally born and raised in the Bay Area. I moved up here in '93 because it was going crazy. But anyway, Pete Wilson became governor when it was still kind of Republican and still freedom down there. Mm-hmm. And my sister was going on welfare and stuff, and Pete Wilson came in and he tried to say, okay, if you keep making babies, we're gonna stop, paying you welfare, because it was just drawn. It was killing the system. And they also said, if you're on welfare, we will pay for you to go to college. And my sister took advantage of it and went to the Anza College, which is a pretty okay college, because she wanted to own her own tax business. So she went through, did all the work and hustle, and then she had to fight with her old man, with the kid. It was crazy stuff. Anyway, so I was there helping her, and I'd watch her. She had a computer. I had no idea. They were like old, in the old day computers, but she did all her homework, and there was nobody there, to babysit you. You got to do your work, right? Or otherwise you ain't going to make it. So anyway, she graduated. Then she got a job and moved up here in Southern Oregon as a night clerk for a motel. And then she had to work for 2 years for H&R Block so she can take a test for the state to become a state auditor. And she, out of 100, she came in second. She got a job. And then working for the state, she found out how corrupt, and it was really bad. And she made it her 10 years, but she didn't go with the system. And it was, I didn't even understand what it says. If you're rich and you can pay, and they can get a lawyer and pay, don't bother them. Go for the people that can't pay. That's the state of Oregon.
Right.
So anyway, and then she finally got her business and then cancer and passed away. But she did her goals. And that was a really good thing. I don't think, and some people might have used the system and not did it right, but she did, and she had a chance and took it. So the welfare stuff, I don't know what happened there, because as you can see, it didn't help anything.
Right. Yeah, the welfare, it just kind of keeps people in that state. it's not common that people get welfare and then they rise up way beyond that because it makes you comfortable. You have what you need. There's little incentive to actually perform better. You know, it may happen occasionally, but generally that's kind of how it goes.
Oh yeah, we lived down in Mountain View in a cedar block cockroach. You'd come into it was just a single studio. You come in, turn on the light, and the whole wall just goes away. You know what I mean? It was just crazy. And then a lot of drugs, and that was back in the crack days, actually. Because he became, I think he won in 91, and I moved up here in 93. But yeah, you're right. So all I'm saying is that, there's a lot of people that, it's just really hard because I watched her do her work, you know. I mean, there was nobody babysitting her. You know, she didn't do it. It wasn't getting done, the homework.
Right.
So anyway, she did her dream is all I'm saying. And I just wanted to share that because the welfare thing really didn't help because it was killing California back then, and it still is. Everywhere, I guess.
Right on. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the call, and you have a great night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Yeah, man, that welfare stuff is just no good. All righty, Les, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, how are you doing?
I'm well. About yourself?
Good. I actually have, first of all, the show's great. Thank you so much for everything you've said today. It was by far magnificent. I just have something a little bit off topic before I get off the call with you. So, with this whole COVID thing, and this was just brought to my attention. So I had received a report, and this is, I believe, EIA, NEA, and from what I'm reading here is that 29,000 educators, they signed to file a motion to intervene with the current lawsuit that Tom DeVore, the attorney that's taking care of like all the school districts to, you know, have the kids be mask free or at least optional. And you know what I find so funny is the fact that these schools, especially out here in the state of Illinois, what they want to do is pretty much not even follow what the guidelines are here for the state, but they want to do what they want to do. Like that's the whole goal and the main purpose with them. And so this is what's so funny. So schools tell you, right? Like, and I just got the email. Like, if your child has been exposed to possible COVID, you know, people that have COVID, please don't bring them to school, right? We just got an email today. My son's class, the middle one, was basically, I got an email saying that, hey, your child might possibly have been exposed because there was a student in the same class that tested positive. But then yet again, they're not sending the students home. I just find that a little funny, don't you?
Yeah, that's pretty strange. It is.
I'm just like, oh my God, like the hypocrisy. Like, what difference does it make whether it's a classroom student versus, you know, at home? Like, it's still the same thing. And if they're really worried, shouldn't they, like, you know, shut the whole class down, clean? Like, if they really cared, right? You know, sanitize the classrooms. But obviously, it's just a political game here, like always, right? State of Illinois.
It's always politics. Makes no sense, but it makes sense politically, I suppose.
Of course. And then you know what struck me as interesting. Can you confirm this in the state of Tennessee? Is there a mandate for masks or no?
No.
Okay, so my daughter, they're doing a little project, and her group chose the state of Tennessee. And my daughter right away, she's like, oh, I think my mom had mentioned that there's no mandates in masks. So she decided to put that as one of like the features of the key features of the state of Tennessee. And her teacher pulls her off to the side, and they're like, you guys can't put this. And my daughter's like, why, if that's the truth? Like, that's the state of Tennessee. She's like, the same thing with the state of Florida, but that's Republican states. And the teacher right away is like, but you can't say that stuff because what about if next year, like, there's no masks? And I just got hit with this article, and I was like, oh, the hypocrisy. I already, I emailed the teacher, of course, and I called her and we talked about it. And I told her, she can't be censoring my child. I mean, the school knows me, but this is just for everyone to continue to see the hypocrisy. Not only that they're still trying to, of course, indoctrinate the children in public schools, but what the schools are trying to do with pretty much taking the, how do you call it? Like the whole guidelines in their hands. It's crazy.
Right. Absolutely crazy.
It is, but that's why I keep on saying, I keep on advocating. You know, if you have kids, be on top of it. Don't be scared to voice your opinion. Of course, to stand up for your kids always, because you are the most vital and most crucial importance in your child's life to standing up for them. So I just want to leave you guys with that note. And thank you so much for the show, ABL. And I want to wish you and all the viewers right now a wonderful night. Take care.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Yeah, no mask mandates in Tennessee. We're free. Like, mask, what's that? You good. 701, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is the anti-view. How are you doing, ABL?
I'm well. About yourself?
I am okay now. We were under some tornado warnings on December 15th in Minnesota. That's kind of nuts. I'm used to like blizzard warnings and winter storm warnings. How are you doing this evening? Everything going good in Tennessee?
Oh, it's all good. No complaints at all. You know, we're not in the tornado zone, because that was like way out far west, like, you know, by Missouri and Illinois and whatnot. I'm like close to North Carolina and Georgia, so we're safe over here for now.
Oh, okay. I recently wrote my school board a little blurb, and I'm wondering if I can read it to you because I'm pretty upset with them.
All right, go for it.
I am not okay with teaching my child they are racist. I'm not okay with teaching my children there's no difference in chromosomes. I'm not okay with teachers making medical decisions for my children. I'm not okay with boys being taught they are always at fault. I'm not okay with teaching our girls and minorities they are the victims. In this video that I attached for my public school district, they stop someone's free speech. As parents, we're allowed to question the books that your board, I'm speaking to them, has approved to be in our libraries. We are allowed to question your intent in our children's lesson plans. We are allowed to request that your board has approved for our kids to learn. We're allowed to look at that. Do you know why? Because it's our children. They're not yours. And number two, not a single teacher within the Minnesota public school system creates their own curriculum. The state does and the school board does. So when I ask why my child is crying because they believe they're racist, I can guarantee you that I did not put it in their brains. When my child has a meltdown because there's too many white people that live in my neighborhood because of what you've taught them, I get to explain that it's because our ancestors post-slavery went through Ellis Island, and because they were Northern European, they were sent to Minnesota, North Dakota to basically die, and they figured it out. When my child's putting together a box of all their toys because they want to give it away to poor black kids, I get to show them that the kids they're planning on gifting these things to, well, their parents aren't making good financial decisions. And their mom has a $600 purse while their son has holes in his backpack. I also get to explain to them that the same board in the same state that's trying to end racism is the same one that's teaching my child to believe that all minorities are poor and helpless. How must these children feel all day? I cannot imagine how worthless you make them feel daily. To sit in a class all day long and hear every white person, which a reminder is all of their friends, in these books hate minorities. If you question that statement, request the book list from your child's grade, especially if you live in Minnesota. When I went to school, I learned that every child could be president. Myself, a white girl, my friend Austin, a black boy, Casey, who had ADHD, Bernie had Tourette's, Yang was an Asian boy, Natasha was a black girl. Every single one of us, whether our color, gender, mental health, learning disability, we were all taught to be president. I am not pro, I am not con, I am pro-educate. Educate humans to make the correct decisions for their happiness, safety, and future. Educate our youth to make better decisions in life. Educate our youth to be mindful. Educate our youth to not to think before they react. And educate our youth that mental health is just health and just as important as any other screening. Instead of pro-life or pro-choice, educate. If you cannot go into a store and purchase condoms or tampons without being embarrassed, you shouldn't be having sex. That embarrassment feeling, that's maturity. which means you're lacking it, and you should not be making adult decisions such as sex. It is time to uplift our children and not to hold them back. It is time to listen to our concerns so we do not have any more tragedies such as Michigan. It is time for our parents to be more involved in their education, ensuring every child feels that they can be president when they grow up. And then I put, lastly, if this offends you, because we're friends, because I did post this on my Facebook, then you need to think twice about why we're friends, because I love everybody and I want everybody to succeed. So thank you for letting me say all that. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. Very good.
Have a great day.
I know.
Bye.
So yeah, great way to end it, but that'll be a wrap for me. I'll wrap it on up right here. I thank you for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. I'll be back live again tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'll be on Tatum's stream on his channel, on Brandon Tatum's, the Officer Tatum stream tomorrow at, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll be live again here Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, I put out videos every day, usually 2 a day if I got enough topics. If you guys have any topics, any tips, any news tips, you can email me at contact@anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. You can also go to my website, anthonyblogan.com, and go to the contact page. All my information is right there. My email, my snail mail, my social media accounts, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. All that's right there on the page. Very easy to find. I'm not hiding at all. All right. I got super chats on deck. I'm going to get to those right quick. And shout out to the mods for being here, keeping all the trolls in check and all the cussing and fussing and carrying on to a minimum. I appreciate you for that. But we got super chats on deck, and then that'll be a wrap for me. So let's go ahead and get to it here. Thank you to Angel, who says, "Hey, ABL, thanks for all the good work you do." Thank you. The I See No Evil says, "Pick me next, 970. Definitely would love to be on the show." Hopefully you were able to get on. I'm not sure if you were able to get on or not. Thank you to Samuel, who says, "Thanks, ABL, for what you're doing. No problem." Thank you to Josh Foss for your donation. Thank you to Jericho, Aubrey Juror. He said, "Are there any perks of being an American citizen anymore?" Hey, man, like I said earlier, it depends where you live. You live in California, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. Thank you to Tricone79, who says, "Good dang evening, ABL and Jericho." Thank you to Rick E for the donation. Thank you to Bud versus Windshield, who says, "In Portland suburb, kids with the virus can go to school if they get the jab, but non-vax can't." Wow. So if you have the bug, if you get if you're vaxxed, but you catch the bug, like you actively got the bug, you can still go to school. But if you're not vaxxed and you can't, even if you don't have the bug, is that what's going on? Or if you have the bug and you have it? But if you have it, why does it matter if you're vaxxed or not? You have it. Maybe they think you can't spread it, which is false. It makes no sense. They are spreading the virus. Correct. Exactly. Thank you to Adrian Harris, who says, showing love from Baltimore, Maryland, now on paid vacation, celebrating my birthday. Happy birthday to you, boss. And getting my paycheck for the week. My opinion, Jussie needs to go to jail, not collect $200, make big rocks in the little rocks. Amen. Amen. Thank you to Matthew, who says, "Is Neo going to be a beta cup simp in the new Matrix?" You know what? That's a good question. I'm ready to see it, though. That's one of my all-time favorite movies, The Matrix. It's like a staple in popular culture, the first one at least. The other ones, they're okay. You know, I ain't really want to see Jada Pinkett, but that's a different story. The first one is like, you can't really top it. So let's see what they do with the fourth one? Let's see how it goes. Also, he says, "Joe looked like Poltergeist, ghost, dying, go toward a light." Ball versus Windshield says, "Conspiracy theory, Jeff Bezos is pumping the DAs and whatnot to increase crime, so stores shut down and people will use Amazon as fear takes hold." That's a good one, though. That's a good one. Joe Ryder 84 says, "ABL, did ever hold on. I'm having a hard time reading this. I don't understand what you're trying to say here. Okay. Did I ever have any background in farming, I guess? And did I know that socialist countries first started out by taking over the agricultural industry? Okay, I got it. Okay, it was like a little shorthand there. I've heard Biden maybe doing this. Okay. He also, Butt versus Windshield says, Beetlejuice says stores should have more security. Talking about Mayor Lightfoot. I may do a video about that. I saw that one. Oh, the stores need to have more security. They're doing the wrong thing, but not having, it's like, ma'am, if you don't stop. But anyway, Butt versus Windshield says, Beetlejuice says stores should have more security. Their evil plan is working. Soon the rich will own their own police and common folk will be left without. Exactly. They'll have their own armed guards ready to get rocking and rolling. You, on the other hand, try getting a gun. Try getting a handgun. Good luck with that legally. Good luck with that. Joe Ryder 84 says, I will never understand and won't understand why the black church supports Democrats. I know you are a spiritual person, so forgive me mentioning that. Oh, it's all good. I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to really talk about. It's just weird. It's at this point, it's tradition. And the black church is a whole different animal. Don't get me started on that. I ain't really trying to keep you all night. But the black church is pretty much useless. Unless you got a small church, something like that, a community-based church, for the most part, it's useless. It has no purpose at all. My granddad told me that at one point, the black preacher was the only literate person in the community. So you would go to the preacher for, like, real stuff. How do I read this contract? You know, real stuff. But nowadays, the black preacher is just, you know, pimping women to get money to pay for his elaborate living expenses. Not all. Don't nobody get triggered. Not all, but a lot of them I see it far too often. It's like a pattern, unfortunately. Bishop Don Magic Wand is also a minister. That tells you that's the long and short of it right there. But I'll move on. Anyway, Joseph Bocher, hopefully I didn't take your name up, boss, says Joe Biden said, quote, what's the big deal about a vax mandate? By that logic, what's the big deal about a cognitive test mandate for the presidency? There you go. Good one. Butt versus Windshield says mask mandates, question mark. They only stop 10 to 15% of the virus cloud, allegedly. If that's true, everyone should be required to have, I ain't gonna read that because we got little kids watching, but I get your point. Come on, man. We got to be PG over here. The anti-view says, thanks for the ability to speak out on here. ABL, you are truly the bestest on the internet. Keep up the great work. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Shout out to Sweaty Spaghetti who says, thanks for the talk, Bernard. And also thank you to Jamie Fain who says, ABL, keep telling the truth. Heart emoji, US, heart emoji. Thank you for that. All right. But that'll be a wrap for me. Thank y'all for being here yet again. You guys are the best. If you want to hear this audio only without having listened to the video, this will be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Links for that will be in the description box. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.